German sips with a grin so wide. Pogs on the table can't hide his pride. Creator in the corner starts to glare. Madness sparks and hate fills the air. Stack 'em high, a tower of luck. Germans winning, it feels like pluck. Alice Matt's fury, a brewing storm. Visions of pogs in every form. Pogs are spinning, tables turning. Alice Matt's eyes with fierce fire burning. Germans' laughter echoes loud in a world that's pog-bound proud. Matt sees and he's mad insane. Eyes on fire, can't take the strain. Pogs and pieces drive him to pain. His patience snapping like an old chain. And he's mad insane. Eyes on fire, can't take the strain. Pogs and pieces drive him to pain. His patience snapping like an old chain. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Alas, mud fumes can't take no more. Pogs and slammers hit the floor. It's not about the game you see. It's about what fun could be. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann.
If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast. To all of the queens who are fighting alone, baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Let's go.
Without me, you wanna, but you get na-na-na. Think it's funny, but honey, can't run the show on your own. I can feel my body shake, there's only so much I can take. I'll show you how a real queen behaves. No damsel in distress, don't need to save me. Once I stop breathing fire, you can't tame me. And you might think I'm weak without a sword, but if I had one, it'd be bigger than yours. If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast. To all of the queens who are fighting alone, baby, you're not dancing on your own.
She's the queen and I'm just lucky to get close to the throne. I'm not worthy, but she's taking me home. Yeah. No damsel in distress, don't need a savior. She's a goddess, I would never try to change her. She knows she got my world inside of her palm, but she can have whatever she wants.
All of the kings had their queens on the throne. We would pop champagne and raise a toast. To all of the queens who are fighting alone, baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Let's go. I'm a queen, I'm a boss, I'm a brat. Hella independent, I get this, I get that. Shout out to the girls from the burp to the trap. I don't need a man for shit, put myself on the map. Oh, and they thought I was done. I ain't even hit my peak and I'm still on the run. I'm like Lolo on the laps, how I'm running the track. Only time I see an L's in a luxury tax. And my whole team when it post a pic just because they're like, oh, she chillin'. $1 million deals and my lipstick still it. I need acrylic nails, I don't need no critics. So witty gon' glow, so witty gon' shine. Circle full of tens, I don't see no nines. My name on they lips, my name on they mind. How I take it from the block to the Hollywood sign.
All the kings have their queens on the throne. We will pop champagne and raise a toast to all the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Deep in the inky graveyard, dark as the night, there among forgotten pencils, a duck takes flight. Alice not the history duck tells us forgotten tales about creators long lost in a cabinet frail. He's been putting in a mile of research. He quacked up every flock perch. This Irishman aggressively knows his stuff. He's here to share the truth without a bluff. Duckman, oh Duckman, extolling the dead. Duckman, oh Duckman, what's got in your head? Simmons, Emerson, Panther, and Ray, ancient artists surviving off of vodka and Bengay. Alice Mack, duck of the Indies, Malin's favorite ethap. He knowledge of comics far off the old rap. He swims out of the lanes to find hidden bayous, strange creators, and obscure Adulamu. Duckman, oh Duckman, extolling the dead. Duckman, oh Duckman, what's got in your head? Simmons, Emerson, Panther, and Ray, ancient artists surviving off of vodka and Bengay. So hang with the quackers deep in the comic graves. See Alice Matt's treasures, the sort that he craves. Do you know about these guys and do you care? A Duck Lord is willing and he's got plenty to share. Duckman, oh Duckman, extolling the dead. Duckman, oh Duckman, what's got in your head? Simmons, Emerson, Panther, and Ray, ancient artists surviving off of vodka and Bengay. Alice Matt should be quack-gratulated. Do not mallard shun. He's busy peeking into the facts. Don't wig in him while he's hunting for snacks. For snacks. Duckman, oh Duckman, extolling the dead. Duckman, oh Duckman, what's got in your head? Simmons, Emerson, Panther, and Ray, ancient artists surviving off of vodka and Bengay. Alice Mack to be quack-gratulated. Do not mallard shun. He's busy peeking into the facts. Don't wig in him while he's hunting for snacks. Duckman, oh Duckman, extolling the dead. Duckman, oh Duckman, what's got in your head? Simmons, Emerson, Panther, and Ray, ancient artists surviving off of vodka and Bengay.
TSWGGG. She's got her boot, she smashes his face into the ground, She throws the glass at his face and it cuts him. Just on top of all of the torture, after all the shit she did to that rod up that cunt's ass, after all the shit she did to you, are you fucking kidding me? This bitch goes fucking ham. And she likes it. Bam, bitch. 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 Guess what? Shit's about to get real. And yeah, get your panties in a fucking twist about this. Women are fucking evil. Men are evil too, but there are some fucking things that women will do and go the extra mile for that come She's got her boot, she smashes his face into the ground. Yes, sexy time is the best way to do it. Like, bitch, come on. Like, bitch, come on. Princess Fuckface is a fucking cunt. Like, bitch, and she likes it. Bam, bitch. 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 Guess what? Shit's about to get real. This is the way that you beg me to fuck you. Beg me to fuck you. Guess sexy time is the best way to do it. Like, bitch, come on. Like, bitch, come on. Princess Fuckface is a fucking cunt. Like, bitch, and she likes it. Bam, bitch. 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 Guess what? I'm a motherfucking shit. Come. Because they want his bodily fluids. That's I guess sexy time is the best way to do it. Special hero juices. TSWGGG.
First of all, my name is not Alice Matt. Let's get that straight. KSS, you know. By the way, thanks for wishing me happy birthday. That's very sweet of you. I'm glad you remembered. You always remember my birthday, and that's very, very wonderful of you. It's very wonderful of you. I appreciate that. You know, it warms my heart. It makes me hard. It makes me just want to just go over and repopulate the world with such vigor because you wish me happy birthday and always remember to wish me happy birthday. I appreciate that. But my name is not Alice Matt. It's Alaz Matt. It's pronounced a certain way for a reason. Alas, Matt. Please, just remember me. Say my name correctly. I have a reputation to uphold. It's Alas, Matt. So let's see. I see Zeitgeist here with the, what do they call that? The tag in your comment. I'll never see him again after this comment here. And of course, the racist emojis, because it's what racists do. They put emojis in the chat and cause terror. But my good friend Massive Panda is here to bring balance to the force with his wonderful comments. Massive Panda is a regular on Draw and Talks chat, so you know he's here for the comic talk, and I'm here to oblige. Comic talk is and not just boring comic talk, just insanely inspirational and motivational comic talk. Aspirational, that's the word here. But I'm seeing people are starting to show up, so that's awesome. Great to hear that. Courtney's here. She says, "Hey yo, hello, Courtney. Welcome here to the chat. I don't think I've seen you. I've seen you around the space, but not my chat. So I guess I have clout now. I don't know, but." I'll take it. I'll accept it. Why not? No, that fight was not from Kill Bill Part 3, but we could pretend it is. Why not? You know what? Fuck it. It is. You said happy birthday, so I will acquiesce to whatever your wishes are today. I'm a rememberer and a carer. My name. Stop calling me. If you don't call me that, no, Lady Shadowbend. No, come on. Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him. You know better. You know better. And the racist emojis continue. This is my first Indie Comics Outlier stream in 2025. And I'm being greeted with racism and mispronunciation of my name. Actually, that doesn't count. It's mispronunciation of my name. So I guess that falls into the racism banner. Predator7, he says, "What's up? Hello, everyone." Alex, it's not my name. Alex Matt is not my name. It's Alaz Matt. Laz. The qualifier in the name is Laz. 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 Why Laz? Because in my baptismal certificate, I found this out, what was it? Almost 11 years ago. Prior to marrying Stephanie, I found out that my baptismal middle name was Lazarus. And if I ever get it legally added to my name, I think I will. It's going to be my middle name, Lazarus. So I adopted it as part of my online name, Alazmat. So there you go. That's where the Laz comes from Lazarus, my baptismal middle name, Alazmat. So please, Alazmat, not Alice Matt. Okay, it says, all Ass Matt has spoken. Why do you come to these spaces if you're gonna take away my inspiration and my motivation and my aspiration? Why do you do those things? I'm here to talk comic talk. I'm here to see, like my good friend Master Panley. He says, I got one of Tyler's comics in the mail today. Well, awesome. Apparently Tyler, from what I'm hearing, is apparently a failure as a comic creator. It's news to me, but I mean, all I see is that man produce comics and good art style. Like he's very good. Like I don't know where this notion came that he's a terrible artist. I don't get it. It's weird, but some people have that sentiment. But he's producing books. He's got his fan base. Good for him. And I listen to some of his streams, so I like to get different perspectives from my peers in this space. So I'm glad. And speaking of comics, by the way, since I was going to talk about this, I don't know how many of you got the notification from my Twitter last week, but B Citizen Road Warrior Drake is completed. Yes, I completed B Citizen Road Warrior Drake. I submitted it to 3 of my proofreaders, and one of them came back with some feedback. And I didn't expect this feedback from this guy. He, I trust the 3 proofreaders I sent it to because they're not going to bullshit me. They're going to tell me what works, what doesn't work before I unleash it onto the populace. But his feedback was kind of interesting. He said, this is what he said to me. He said that from what he read, it's what was it? Let me look up his exact words with regards to B Citizen Road Warrior Drake. He said he got RoboCop 2, The Crow, and Underworld concepts from it, which I didn't expect. That was furthest from my mind, but that's what he got from it. So I asked him to elaborate. And he says that it has a noir dystopian setting from where it left off from the first book. It goes into a reformed, defunct city like RoboCop 2, even with the political election coming off, like the saved the old Detroit in a way, all while showcasing underground movement of criminals who want to just destroy under the rebirth of a character. And then also the reform comes off like top dollar from The Crow, which is very interesting. And I just got word from I just got word right now live on stream. That my second proofreader just did a pass on it, so he's going to send me the notes shortly. So there we go. See, my proofreaders are active right now. But yeah, that was the feedback from the first one. I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. Anyway, let me get to the chat for a second. Lady shout out, I'm encouraging him because he wishes me happy birthday, unlike some D words I know. Well, you know what? We will talk about that tonight. If we have space to talk, if you get my drift, young. KS says that this is your first Outliers show of 2025. Wasn't the Prime first originally an Outliers stream? No, that was an unboxing stream. That was what the hell was that stream? That was an unboxing stream, believe it or not. That was a combination of a draw stream and an unboxing stream. So, but some people would call it a disaster. I would call it a disaster because anything with Prime is a disaster. So, Einbeck says, "Don't lie to me. I know your name is Alaz Mant. Dark Git 5 memory banks were uploaded to Testify satellite." Oh, don't bring me back memories of Dark Git 5. I just got over the PTSD of that. Please don't bring back those bad memories. No, don't stop. No. That name is anathema. Don't bring that name back here. Do not. We just started healing as a community. KS says, don't bring that name back here. Please don't. Master Pen says, yes, it was awesome watching you finish up the last page of B Citizen. Yeah, that was a good stream. I was surprised I was able to finish that page in that 2.5 hour time span. But when you have your pages outlined and storyboarded, you kind of know what you're going to put in there, and it gives you room open to deviate here or there, but you don't spend time trying to figure out what you're putting on there because you've already did. Here's Student of God. He says beep beep. I know it's bad sauce, but if you get the joke, you get the joke. Beep beep, Student of God. KSS says, Alice, you're using an editor? That's not how we do it. You're supposed to claim you're putting out perfect art and then put out a second chance campaign for the exact same book now edited. Oh, is that what I'm supposed to do? Damn it, I missed the train on that. I guess you're right, Kay. So that was probably a thing. I totally forgot that you're supposed to put the book out with no editing because, like you said, anyone tells you your book isn't good, they can get the boot, right? And then 2 or 3 years later, do a second chance campaign, except with the quote unquote edits. I guess you could say. I guess that's how you do it. But I don't know, silly me. I just want to just get it right the first time and just get, well, not right, but get it as best as I can the first time. And that means being open to criticism before I unleash it out to the backers. Oh crap. Oh crap. Well, look who's here. Why am I yelling? I'm not yelling, Carol. I'm speaking. I have a good speaking voice. I speak like I'm on a stage giving the inaugural State of the Union speech and talking about the things that Trump's going to do. That is how I feel right now. And the dark. I put the link in the chat in our DM room, Helmet, but you're too busy with the rest of them trying to harass me. Do you want to come on or not? If you want to come on, I'll send you the link. I put the link to the stream in the chat room, the DM room, whatever, the green room, whatever you want to call it. It ain't what it was supposed to be, but I put it there. So, here's Bat Sauce. He says, hell chat. Hell Bat Sauce, yes. I'm not, Carol, you and Helmet and the rest of you guys, I'm the only creator with a VM group that doesn't get their link shared. I get abused by you people with all this hateful stuff you put at me. I get up in the morning and I have the desire to put inspirational quotes and messages of positivity and upliftingness to you people. And what I get in return? Vitriol. It's not right. All right, Helmet wants the link, so I'm going to send him the link. Let's see. Share, copy, stream link. No, that's the stream link. Here we go. Guests, add a guest. Here we go. I'm still trying. After all this time, I'm still trying to figure out a freaking Streamlabs. So, okay, I'm going to send Helmet the link, so he can tell me how much he wants to put tattoo numbers on my arm. So no, he does. He wants to tattoo numbers on my arms. But it's okay. You know why? Because I wear it as a badge of honor. A badge of honor. That's me. That's me. Okay. So let me try to catch up in the chat, and then we'll get to our topic. Someone's got Santa in there. I'm not reading that, Carol. You know what? I should have banned you a long time ago. Should have banned you, but you escaped my ban hammer. I don't know how you did that. I'll figure it out. KSS says, so now it's 2025. Really, KSS? Really? You can't even say my name correctly. Why are you lecturing me? What are you, CG King? You can't lecture me like that. What's wrong with you? Say my name correctly. Like that Destiny's Child song. Say my name, say my name. You know, say it correctly. I should never sing again. We're doing Gahan Wilson today for a little comic talk. I know that my stream count right now is a little low, lower than normal. But it's okay. I totally get it. I understand. Because it's just comic talk. Like, who does comic talks in 2025? Well, those I still love and appreciate it. So I love and appreciate it, and I'm sure you guys do too. By the way, you know, I didn't pin the chat. I'm gonna, even though nothing even happens with it, but F it, I'll do it. Why not? I'll pin the link to my PayPal. Let me look for it right now. PayPal me. That is the non-YouTube way of super chatting me. If you guys care. If you care. See, there's the link that's the PayPal right there to super chat me. It goes directly to you. You could tip me $1, $2, whatever the case is, whatever your blessed heart desires. Or if you don't have PayPal, you'd rather do Cash App. My Cash App is up on top of the screen. It's Cash App at Alasmat Films. That's my Cash App. Alasmat Films. So you can Cash App me there. Alice Lazarus Matt. I can say your name. There, yeah. It's not my name. It's not my name, KSS. It really isn't. I just think you want to unalive me. Just like Gahan Wilson, who died in November of 2019. He died November 2019. This gentleman, Gahan Wilson. This is one of his comics. Just very briefly on Gahan Wilson, who is he? He is an author and cartoonist. He passed away in 2019. So remember that he's gone. He's gone. But his illustrations have been described as depicting horror fantasy situations. So you're gonna see some of his artwork being kind of like on the very twisted side, which, by the way, should come as no shock that he was an artist also for Mad Magazine. What was it? Did he do Magazine? No, he didn't do Mad. He was National Lampoon. He did that. He did the artwork for National Lampoon's magazines, and then he did reviews for the magazine of fantasy and science fiction. He did some film reviews for that, so he was a film buff. He loved, especially horror films. He loved horror films. So he did a lot of like contribution to these magazines and added strips there. So we're gonna look at some of his artwork here. This one is called Nuts. It's one panel, I guess, right? Or rather, one page. But you could definitely see again. We go back to the 60s and 70s underground movement style of comics, but he was more active in the 80s and 90s. That was his wait, when was it exactly he was active? Was it the 80s and 90s? No, it was more like 90s and 2000s. But I know Fantagraphics has a book of his collection of his Playboy cartoons. Oh, he did Playboy cartoons. Yes. Yeah, he also contributed work to Playboy magazine. But there you go. He found as many doors as possible, but see, he didn't have an IP. He just drew. And he was the IP. He was the brand. So he put his artwork in as many places as was able to allow him to open to. So money is green wherever it's being offered. So regardless of who's offering it, all money is green. And he took advantage and made a very lucrative career for himself. So we're going to be taking the time out to look at some of his stuff. Here's Nuts right here. And yeah, this is one of his content. Where did Nuts come from? Let me see. What did I just say? Did I just ask where did Nuts come from? Fuck, I'm gonna be clipped, right? I know I'm gonna be clipped with that one. I know I am, because that's what you degenerates do. But oh, look at this. It says he was influenced by Basil Wolverton, one of our outliers. So there you go. So like, if you watch the stream and you're interested with Gahan stuff, go back and look at my stream on Basil Wolverton. I'm afraid to turn my camera on because every time I do, for some reason, my stream, my bandwidth doesn't get filming. But I have my books behind me. Should I take it out? No, I'll just go back to that Basil Wolverton stream I did. If you know how to go on my channel and use the search option, you'll find the Basil Wolverton stream, and then you can look at some of the artwork there. I did buy the hardcover of the volume 1 of Basil Wolverton's works. Very good artist. Story-wise, you could tell that his stories got better as he got older. So his earlier strips were just really more just a showcase of his art style, which was very impressive. I like Wolverton's style. So I definitely can see the influence here for Gahan Wilson with his Nuts comics. This one is from this is a Halloween cartoon from 1970. Okay, so he's been active since the 60s. Okay. So he's been active for almost half a century. This is a newspaper strip style. Let me go to the chat for a second because I know you guys are begging me to notice you senpais. Let's see here. Tim Olson, he says, who would ever want to make you DED? Everyone, Tim, everyone. It's not nice. Not a nice community. Everyone. KSS says Gahan. Betcha he didn't get the points on the name portion of his SATs. Okay. So what if he didn't? He could still draw. Hen is in the chat. We have the witches in the chat. She says, is everyone having a... Oh, Hen. Really, Hen? Really? Why are you so mean to me? Talk to me like I'm a human being. You think Gahan Wilson got this treatment from his community? No, Gahan was probably respected and revered and loved. Me, on the other hand, I got shot upon. KSS says, Gahan loved horror films. He said The Mummy is the weakest one. He knew. Okay, I may have made that up. Well, I agree. The Mummy was the weakest of the Universal horror movies. So if Gahan did say it, I agree with him. If he didn't say it, I'm sure at some point he thought it. So he probably was on the right side of history with that one. I'm not reading that, Tim. You're going to get my channel struck, and I'm not going to read that. So, not going to read that. NASA Panda says, yeah, this dude definitely got one of his got his hand on some of those Zap comics you reviewed and took inspiration from political cartoonists. Just my assumption. Oh, I'm sure he did. He was definitely influenced by some of those artists. So, and we're gonna look at more of his stuff. I got some tabs open, so we're gonna be checking those tabs out. Hen says, if you can't find your nuts, go see. You know what I'm talking about, Hen. You know what I'm talking about. That was uncalled for. That was see, I knew it. I knew it. See, now you people are running with the nuts thing. Tim Wilson's running with nuts. Lots of nuts can be found in. Oh, oh, God damn it, Tim! What's wrong with you? This is a stream for artistic inspiration, not for that. Why did you make me read that? Son of a. Oh, anyway, KSS says he was influenced by Charles Adams. Why did you omit that part? Do you hate the Adams family? What's wrong with you? Oh. Well, I'm a bigger fan of the Munsters. KSS. But yeah, you can actually in this panel, this panel here, you can see a little bit of the Adams inspiration from the Adams Family strips. You can see that style here a little bit, which is not ironic since this is a Halloween panel that he drew here. So it's possible he definitely took from that style or borrowed or was influenced by that style and drew that panel. Hen says, I broke a tooth on a... this is not art-related, Hen. This has nothing to do with the conversation at hand. Stop with the nuts, you people. We're talking art. We're talking comics and creators. Damn, drop those balls. Oh, damn it. You typed that, didn't you? You actually typed that. See, now you're encouraging Lady Shadow. This is what I was telling her about her being corrupted by this community. She wanted to come on and assist me, but I'm like, no, I'm afraid the community will corrupt you. And there's the proof right there. Look at this. There's the proof. Not cool. Not cool. Don't encourage her, please. For goodness sakes, don't encourage her, please. Let me just talk about my artist here. Can you do the artist of the Berenstain Bears next? Says Guy in his room. You know, Guy, I type up in my DM group every morning inspirational quotes to get you guys started with your morning coffee and to do your rocky jog up the steps of the Liberty Bell and to declare victory. So you guys can feel good about yourselves. And you respond with such hatred and racism and poison. And you come here and make demands of me? No. You don't make demands of me. I'll find out later on. But no, you don't get to make those demands of me. It's not balanced. Tim says, I'm inspired autistically. Don't you mean transatlantically? I think that's what you meant. I think you meant transatlantically or pacifically or whatever the fuck it is. I don't care. Scroll down. I'm gonna want to skip some chats, but I'm gonna scroll down here. Ladies and gentlemen, I was corrupted before I met you. Don't insult me. No, you will be heavily corrupted here. I promise you. I will not allow the corruption to. No, I am not being deported. I am legal. Bear, I'm legal. Trump loves me. I'm legal, so I'm not going nowhere. So there. So you take that. Einbrecht says, I'm going to jog my foot right up. Can we talk about Gahan Wilson? Gahan Wilson's got some good stuff. As we scroll down further. Okay, that's it. That's all there is on this page. But, I have other pages open. And I'm too cheap to pay a subscription to the New Yorker. So you're going to see the bottom half of the screen kind of like telling me that my window's closing, which it's not. They're just telling me to make a payment to subscribe. I ain't doing that shit, but this is the artwork that I used for the thumbnail. Let's see. This is all from the New Yorker. This author says, in the mid-90s, I sat right next to Gahan Wilson. It was our first meeting, although he and I had been contributing to the New Yorker for about 20 years. So Gahan Wilson, just like Al Hirschfeld, was a cartoonist for the New Yorker. Did I do Al Hirschfeld? I don't think I did Al Hirschfeld yet. Al Hirschfeld should be one I should do because when you look at Al Hirschfeld's work, it reminds you of Narwhal stuff. The same Narwhal, by the way, who's now working for Dark Horse. So shout out. But yeah, this is one of Gahan's works for the New Yorker, which I love this style. It definitely says New Yorker. It reminds me of as a kid, like when I was a kid and I would get the New York Times. Well, not me, but my mother when she subscribed to it, and I would get it Sunday mornings. You get that big batch of papers from the New York Times, and you would get the New Yorker. I think did the New Yorker come with that? I think it did. Maybe not. I don't know. But they had a magazine in there, and they had all these cartoons and strips, and I would see strips like this, and it was fun to look at. It's absolutely fun to look at because it allows you to really escape from the real world, which is why I'm a big fan of like the style of cartooning. Hen says, I am also not a part of the community, so I can corrupt all I want. Oh, we know. I hear things. I hear things. I should have been more Pacific, says Tim Wilson. Yes, you should have. Be more Pacific. I go with the long game so as not to scare him off. We're gonna have a talk about that. Oh no! Stop! No. Oh God! I just wanted to talk art with you people. I just wanted to be inspiring to you. That was a swell art piece by Gahan. It is. It's very good. Oh, I see what you do. You come here. You do that fandom reject thing where you hit the like button and then you leave, right? Right? Is that what you do? You know, I like a little more engagement. A little more. Narwhal is working for Dark Horse now. We do say it like that. Why can't you say Pearberg, whom some erroneously call Narwhal, is working with Mark Millar? Yeah, he is going as Pearberg, so I should call him that. Pearberg, by the way. And it's not Pearberg, it's Pearberg. By the way, I will make a mention of that in the documentary. Yes. Pearberg. Pearberg is now working for Dark Horse with Mark Millar, so shout out to him for that. So I hit the like button. I'm sorry. I thought I was a content creator. I thought I was a YouTuber. I'm sorry, Hen. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong about me. Maybe I'm the one that's at fault. Maybe I'm the one that's messing up here, right, Hen? Maybe it's me. It's not you. It's me. I never heard that in my... Bear says, what do you mean, you people? That sounds racist, D-word guy. No, it's not, because I can't be racist. I'm on the other end of the attack. So I can't be racist. It's interesting part of comics we should pay more attention to. Well, Tim, that is why I do my streams, because we don't. This is in this space, many people ignore the stuff like this. They ignore this type of artwork and these artists because they're so married to this. Here's more of a concept. They're so married to a particular style of artwork that when they see something like this, for example, they call it bad. They say it's shitty. They say it's not that good. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. You know, this type of artwork resonates with people. People like this. It's cartoonish. It's fun to look at. It's escapism. People appreciate style. They appreciate style. And I've talked about it. Consistency and style. Consistency and form. It's what it is. Consistency and form. There's a misconception that quality comes in only one or two, very minimum forms. And I'm here to tell you that's bullshit. Quality comes in many forms. Just because you don't recognize some of it doesn't mean it isn't quality. Like Roy Thomas said, it's the people that decide what art is. The creator doesn't decide, it's the people that decide it. The underground comics of the 70s and 80s. Well, Tim, if you look at my streams, my indie comic outlier streams, I spotlight a lot of the artists from the 70s and 80s, as well as the 60s, 70s, even some from the last decade or two. Because we're forgetting that there is various styles, various forms of visual storytelling, and when it comes to comics, it's not just one style, one way. And by one way, I mean like the Rob Liefeld style or the Jim Lee style. And I'm not saying those artists are bad. I mean, I don't particularly care for those artists, but, people do. So it's like my opinion on them means jack shit. But that's the thing. If more people like an artist than don't, then the ones that don't like it really don't have a say, because the ones that do like it gave that artist legacy and timeliness. So when it comes to someone like Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, I may not like those guys' artwork, but it don't matter because they have enough of a fan base to stay relevant for decades. So what does my opinion matter? But that's the wonderful thing about comic art and the people who make this legacy is you don't need a creator telling you what's good, what isn't. You decide for yourself, and you decide if that creator and that character and that story gain legacy. That's up to you. It ain't up to me and up to anybody else in the community. It's up to you, the people, the fan base, the readers, the fans, those of you that love comics and love the artwork. You decide if that comic or character has legacy. Just because some guy goes on a stream and has like 2,000 people watching, telling you that, oh, this book is shit, doesn't mean that it's that book won't have legacy, and it does mean that the people have to agree. Just my little whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Bear says you can't be blank. Wow, I expected better from you, D-Man. Better? I am better. I'm good. I have my fist up in the air. I'm pumped up. I just drank my eggs right now, so I'm good. I'm a champion right now. Gahan says, are you living in... Wait, I read that wrong. See, words... Anyway, are you living on the street now since DEI shut down? Shh! I'm not doxing my place of residence. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I will never tell you which street I'm in right now. Just for that, I'm never going to tell you. Ken says, Elasma, did you hear that Angela Curry's sumo wrestling live stream got over 800 live viewers? What did you know about sumo wrestling? Nothing. I just know that people like it for some reason, but it's not my thing. But oh, my good friend Colin is there. Hi, Elasma, do you forgive me? Colin, you bring a measure of respect and elegance. So yes, I forgive, even as I defend you to this day, because redheads need to be defended, and I'm an advocate for the cherries, so I defend you. So yes, welcome back, Colin. Welcome. As we talk about Gahan Wilson, Tim continues to say, if it wasn't for the underground, there'd be no mainstream. You know, Tim, it's funny you mentioned that, and obviously this is a very, I guess, Captain Obvious moment, which is, yeah, it's like it without the underground, without people like Eastman and Laird, we wouldn't have billion-dollar franchises like Ninja Turtles or franchises like what's another good one? Well, I don't know if $1 billion is. I mean, for Ninja Turtles, it is $1 billion, but like other franchises, other characters, not so much. But you know, characters like the Max endured. Enjoyed some modest popularity. You know, for an animated TV show on MTV back in the 90s. I remember that. But yeah, look, listen, the mainstream relies on people like you and me. And I think I have a better handle on how this is going to work in terms of, at least in my case with Road Warrior Drake. And as I'm editing the documentary, I'm currently editing the full length documentary for CG. And, you know, for those of you that follow my channel, I have the first 3 parts uploaded. I'm putting those 3 together, but I'm adding new material for each of those parts, as well as part 4 into one long movie, which I'm trying to trim down to reasonable length. And as I'm editing it, right, and I'm putting in all the stuff that pertains to myself and my own personal journey and how I started, like, from the early artwork of Road Warrior Drake to what it is now. And it's like, you not only do you see the progression of the art style, but you actually hear the reviews from people that have no reason to feed me a lot of bullshit. When they read my books, they tell you that they're fun to read. And why is that? It's because I understand the underground better than a lot of these creators do. And that's one of the purposes of this stream is, yes, artwork is important in a comic, but I hate to break it to you, the writing is probably more important than the artwork. And you need both to have a comic book. You need both. You need artwork and writing. But Todd McFarlane himself has stated, actually, you know what? Let me see if I can get that clip. Maybe I should play that clip now. So McFarlane was asked a question about, let's see, Jack Kirby, because McFarlane, when he was younger, was not a Jack Kirby guy, and he goes into it here. But let me see, where is it? Todd, it's not there. Hold on. I know I have the clip. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Okay, here it is. Okay, I'm going to play this clip. I don't know if I played this before for you people, but I'll play it again. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. This is Tom McFarlane. He was asked a question about Jack Kirby. Yes, please send me money. I agree. Send me money. Do you forgive me for becoming your enemy? You'll be getting a special letter in the mail, and if you don't wake up, I didn't do it. So Yes, put up with me. Absolutely. Oh no, it's JD Kirby. I'm glad that you revealed yourself as the informant, JD. I'm so glad you are the informant. Yeah, he is a snitch. He snitched me out to ice. He really is. Does the D and DI stand for Praetor? Praetor, you're better than that. Oh. Anyway, let's hear Todd McFarlane as KSS continues to help me get some money. Here we go.
Right. So Stan and Jack had sort of moved on in any significant way. Not completely. Jack was still around, right? Jack was still doing at that time like the bi-monthly Black Panther that he was writing and drawing, and he was also doing like Devil Dinosaur and a couple of those things. He had just come over from DC where he had done the New Gods and stuff. So I was way more familiar with his work. Got to tell you, at that early age, I had no appreciation for what he was doing. I was like, what? Big fat squiggly knees, like what? This is ridiculous, right? I was like, man, why can't he draw more like Neil Adams if you're gonna look at some of the old guys? But at that point, John Byrne and George Perez were sort of my go-to guys. And Jack Kirby was like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. And then as I got older, I understood that the brilliance of Jack Kirby wasn't his anatomy. It was his storytelling. And as I get older, storytelling is way more important than whether you can draw good or not, right? So I'd rather have somebody with great storytelling and mediocre drawing than somebody with great drawing and mediocre storytelling.
What? What have I been saying to you guys? What have I been saying to you? I've been saying to you this, and I've said this in multiple streams. Good writing will save mediocre art. Good art cannot save bad writing. It is an unbalance that's very true in comics. Comics is a visual medium, but if your writing sucks, then no one's going to care about your art. Conversely, if your writing is good, they'll forgive your art if your art doesn't appeal to their standards. They'll forgive it. That's the secret of comics. That's the unspoken truth of comics in this space. As people continue to push this disingenuous argument of quality versus quantity, they forget one thing. Number one, the people decide the quality, not the creators. And number two, the quality is dependent on the writing. If your writing is good, then your book will probably be 60% salvageable, at least 60%. But if your writing sucks, even if you have like stellar artwork, it's going to go in the trash. People are going to forget it over the years. It'll have no legacy. Even Todd McFarlane himself, a guy who's a veteran in the industry, underscores that point. Colin says, drawing one of my last pages for the first volume of Emerald Man. Nice. Volumes are good. I like volumes. No, the Max. Oh, the Mask. Yeah. The Mask too. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the Mask. And the Tick as well, which was the Tick. Yeah, the Tick. Absolutely. Definitely. If it was for the underground, we won't have anything to walk on. Yeah, shitting on the underground is the dumbest brain dead thing you could do. It really is. It's brain dead. Because the underground is going to be the saving force of the comic industry if they even choose to want to save the comic industry. And they don't even have to. The comic industry dies. The comics will still be around, but creators just got to know good business sense, I think. Love those Tick books. Were a lot of fun. Oh yeah, the artwork was fun too. Yeah, that's a great example of good writing, good art, fun art. I should say fun art. No, it's good. It was good. Fun is good. If it's fun art, it's good art. That's my stance on that. Did you ever read the spinoff Paul the Samurai? I don't think I have. No, I've not. But that's a good thing to look into. As I've done with my drawing for Beast and Roy Drake, I'm gonna have more time to kind of do some reading, and I want to catch up on a lot of reading. I'm not gonna be deported, Colin. It's fake news. It's fake news. I'm legal. I'm very legal. I'm referring to YouTube channels. Everyone seems to overlook The Tick. It doesn't get the love it deserves when it was kind of a perfect example of an underground book that hit it big. Well, The Tick was so significant, KSS, that Dave Sim parodied it in his Cerebus books. If you guys read Cerebus, there was a character called the Roach, which is a riff of The Tick. So, yeah, the Tick today doesn't get much recognition, But a lot of people forgot the cartoon. There was a live action Tick, and then there was the animated series. I would just say get the animated series. That had a good animation style to it. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Storytelling matters to JD Kirby, yes. And I shouldn't plug you, JD, because you want my deportation. You want my destruction, deportation. So I should not promote you. But apparently you're writing a book. Yes, you are writing a book with the Wheelers. I DM'd you. I said congratulations. So you've entered the game. JD has entered the game. He's going to be writing a comic book. So let's look out for his work, and then we'll see him deported because I can do that. I'm not Puerto Rican, Cass says. This is fake news. I'm not Puerto Rican. Stop with the lies. I am not very white. I'm very pockish. I'm a pock bear. I tell you people all the time, I'm a pock. The Tick was solid all the way. And art and story. 100%. I agree 100%. Wait, KS says, I'm working on a new underground superhero book. It's called The Musk. It's about a billionaire playboy who buys everything. That would be a fun story to write. Right, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, Master Panda says, yeah, the Tick, Megaton Man, the Crow, some of the stuff from Antarctic Press. A lot of good stuff there. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff between Antarctic Press. I know they had that negative stigma with the Richard C. Meyer thing, but when you look more into it, it's like, well, they weren't the bad guys. Not that they were right, but they weren't the bad guys either. But still, Antarctic Press has some good stuff. Fantagraphics. You guys got to go check out Fantagraphics, the website, because they have a lot of beautifully collected volumes of comic works. You can get the Popeye books. You can get Basil Overton stuff. A lot of good stuff on Fantagraphics. Go check them out. I'm going to, once I'm able to collect a little more money, I'll be doing that too. Colin says, here's the thing about writing over art. I agree generally, but bad art can also deter me from a book, no matter how good the writing is. Yeah, I mean, nothing that I'm saying is 100%. Like, when we speak in generalities, you always leave room for examples that are the exception. But then there's that saying, the exception just proves the rule. But yeah, no, there are people that need the artwork to be good no matter what, and I get that. I totally get that. But I say again, it when it comes to what's good art, it really is A, subjective, and B, if there's enough people to give it legacy. It isn't based on the creator or creator's peers to determine that for you. It's you, the people, that can determine that. You guys can look it up for yourself and determine if that book deserves any legacy. By the way, check out Emerald Man. It's extremely good, says Colin Lamping. And there's his link to check out Emerald Man for free. globalcomics.com/C/the mystical Emerald Man. So you guys check it out. Check it out. Continue on with Gahan Wilson, because we're still doing him. Here's more examples of his work. Oh, that trash can with the teeth. How many times as a kid have you guys like would when you throw your stuff out, you envision your trash can as some kind of monster or animal or something that eats your trash up? That speaks to my heart. I don't know why, but it does. It speaks to my heart. It does. I can do that. Let's see, next page. This one has like a Far Side ring to it. What the hell is that? Is that a bat? Wait, what is that climbing up the wall? Oh, it's Dracula. It's Count Chocula. Okay, there we go. That's what it is. He drew Count Chocula. Let me see if I can bring it down a little bit. You guys can see that's Count Chocula climbing up the wall. So there's a Christmas tree. He does a lot of cross hatching too. That's one of his styles. He does like dark shading and then it fades out with cross hatching. That's one of his. That's a Basil Wolverton inspiration for sure. Yeah, exactly, Kay says that. I was thinking that with the other panels. I was like, oh, this is Far Side inspired. Oh wait, we have a wait. Oh no, we don't. No, never mind. Wait, I got a guess in the back. Huh. Well, let's see. Let me see. I guess I'll play. I need an intro for this guy. Do I have an intro? I'll play this one. Why not?
You.
What'd I do?
You ignored me for over half an hour.
I didn't mean to. I didn't hear the notification. It normally tells me you have a guest in the. See, the thing with the Talk Lab format is the guests are shown on the side, but the side can be obstructed by the options on the bottom of the dashboard, so you get hidden. Whereas StreamYard, it has a clear space for guests to pop up, and you can see it. So I didn't hear you, and I didn't see it because you were covered up. So I saw your comment in the chat. I'm like, wait, how am I supposed to be on? What happened? And then I'm like, oh shit, he's right there. I was like, oh crap, how long has he been waiting? So
Yeah.
yeah,
It felt like the treatment that I get from Lord Raptor Jesus, that darn witch lover who shadow bans me all the time for telling the truth on his witch lovey shenanigans.
well, you saw the hen was here earlier today, right? She was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's not my fall helmet.
Yeah, I forgive you.
Wait, so before we go on, Bear says to Colin, your art's level up. And Colin says, thank you. I've been trying to improve. So, yes, we artists continue to level up. You shut up, Carol. You shut up. I already explained why it happened. Don't instigate. Me and Helmet, we're trying to build bridges, and you try to burn it down.
Hi,
Lady
Carol.
Shadowband says Helmut.
Hi, Lady Shadowband.
So, let's see. Screw that more. I'm not gatekeeping. See, this is why I didn't want to promote this guy, because I shouted him out. You know he's writing a book for the Wheelers, right? JD Kirby. So
no, I didn't knew that.
Yeah, he got hired by Mike Wheeler, and I guess he loves the story, so they're gonna be drawing. Well, not them, but they have an artist drawing JD Kirby's story. So I do the thing where I pat him in the back, and I say, "Good job." And what do? He comes here, and they're already telling me that ICE is deporting me. No love.
Could have been the Orange Man said he will deport illegals.
Justice for Lady Shadow. For what? Justice for what? She's well loved. I'm the one that's being attacked. Wait, Raptor loves wood and witches. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
And gay coffee from Starbucks. That's why he always is late.
Justice and I have two things of steak I gotta make. I gotta make some steak. I forgot I have steak. I gotta cook those. What sort of book are you writing, JD Kirby? Asked Colin. So yes, and while this is happening, as JD Kirby reveals whatever he's allowed to reveal, you can go to my PayPal and send me some money. $1, $2, 10 cents, whatever. Pretend you guys love me. Pretend that I'm important. Pretend I'm important. You guys know you want to. Because I'm worth it. I'm a creator. So but I got feedback for Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake, and it was likened to The Crow and RoboCop 2. And what was the other one they said? Underworld. So Lady Shadowband says $10. That'll be wonderful. That's Wunderfarben. Wunderfarben. Give me $10, please. I'm worth it.
Wonder colors.
I'm absolutely worth it. I really am.
It's called Wunderbar, not Wunderfarben.
Wunderfarb?
Wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
Like Matt Bar and
Wunderbar. Okay, Wunderbar.
Yeah.
Wunderbar. See, I'm cultured. Fiona Wolf says, replaying Mass Effect 1 in burst. Just KO'd Cerberus again for taking out that Admiral. I have no clue what she said, but I'm reading it because I can do that. Do you know what that's about?
I never played Mass Effect.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's probably why. So, what do you think of Gahan Wilson's work so far?
It reminds me from the shaky outlines. It reminds me of the artist who did the Rugrats cartoon.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it does have that animation style to it.
Yeah, it looks very animated. Yeah, he has a certain style to draw people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
And someone in the chat said it's got that Far Side style to it. I was like, yeah, it's exactly like if you're not familiar with the Far Side, it's a series of just one panel strips, and it just tells the story within that one panel, usually without words. Usually, and there's the artist himself. That's Gahan Wilson in his later years. That's the artist right there. But yeah, he's done a lot of good work, and I totally I'm trying to see if there's anything else, any kind of well, they have books available if you guys want to check out some of his books. Here's one called The Weird World of Gahan Wilson, available on Amazon. Let me just you got that 70s psychedelic art style there with the colors. But is this hardcover? Don't know, but it's available. If you can get it for $10 used, but that's one particular book in question that's Gahan Wilson related. I gotta find these strips called Nuts. Actually, let me look those up. What is those about? Let's look up Nuts. The book of it's called Nuts, but yeah, not the book of Nuts. It's called Nuts. Okay. Let's see. Goodreads, guys. If you want to check out like what people are really saying about like some of your favorite books, you should check out Goodreads. You'll get some like very interesting reviews. So here's the Goodreads section on Gahan Wilson's Nuts. There really is no way of saying that without people laughing at you. Okay, it says Gahan Wilson drinks straight out of a measuring cup. I believe it. Okay, it says that someone in the chat said, me. I said. So there you go. KSS said it. And since I mentioned it, Fiona Wolf is putting on a link to The Complete Far Side by Gary Larson, if anyone is interested. So you guys can see there the comparisons between The Far Side and what Gahan Wilson does. But this is the Goodreads section of Gahan Wilson's Nuts. We just see. Okay, so let's read what it says here. It says, remember how baffling, terrifying, and sad childhood really was? Now you can laugh at it. In this thematically and narratively linked series of one-page stories originally published in the National Lampoon's Funny Pages. So that's what. Okay, so I mentioned that Gahan Wilson contributed to the National Lampoon magazine. Well, Nuts was that contribution, and it was again a series of just one panel strips from the 70s, and it's described as a macabre with his usual ghouls, vampires, and end-of-the-world scenarios for a wry, pointed look at growing up normal in the real yet endlessly weird world. This is essentially a lost Gahan Wilson graphic novel from the 70s and 80s. Watches our stoic, hunting cap-wearing protagonist, known only as the Kid, copes with illness, disappointment, strange old relatives, disappointment of Christmas, life-threatening. Okay, so it's funny because they're having it listed for on Kindle for $14 on Kindle. That's insane. That means that the book, the hard copy itself, the physical copy, is probably going for like $60-$70 at least. So I'm guessing it's not even available for reprints. So I guess if you get it for Kindle, yes. One person says that didn't find the story funny, or rather, he didn't find the script funny, but probably because of it's the horror undertone of it. Summer camp nightmares, horrors of school, special Christmas presents, annoying relatives, closet monsters. He gives it 3 out of 5 stars. This reviewer. Another one gives it 4 out of 5. Collection of strips from National Lampoon in which Wilson showcased the triumphs and tragedies of childhood from the perspective of the kid. Many of them aren't really funny, but ring true because they make you remember similar situations. So basically, it's not so much that they're funny, it's just that they're relatable. You look at the strips and it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. I thought just like that as a kid, yes. I put Gahan Wilson's name first, Tim. Gahan Wilson's name came first in the search engine. So that way the FBI knows I'm looking for Gahan Wilson's Nuts. Fuck. Damn it. There really is no way of saying it without... Fuck me, kiss. Colin taking credit or taking the accolades for his Emerald Man comic. Oh boy. Can you read this, Helmut? I don't want to read this.
I can read it in German. Oh,
Please do.
my nuts are smooth like eggs. It's because of Botox. Ew.
I
Why
never heard of
would
Botox.
you do that?
Tim Mull says Melvin 0 to number 3 is on Amazon through Critical Blast. Is it hardcover, Tim? Is it hardcover? I have a soft spot for hardcovers. Coming soon, Melvin number 4. Let's see here. Okay, it says Botox balls confirmed. Yeah, he said that. And unfortunately, it happened on my stream. No, Gahan Wilson, there. Gahan Wilson, his book, which is unfortunately called Nuts. What do you want me to tell you? I can't not read it any other way. I just can't. No hardcovers. Sorry. Well then, forget it. No, seriously, if you guys should check it out, go to Amazon, look up Tim Wilson's Melvin. So yeah. So this is the Goodreads. One person get 5 stars, more 5 stars, more 5 stars. So that is the Goodreads review of Nuts by Gahan Wilson.
It seems that his work resonates with a lot of people's childhood memories.
Yeah, I mean, he what he did was when he created his artwork, the stories he told were very universal and relatable. See, when you create something universal and relatable, you create something that's automatically going to have timelessness and legacy beyond your lifespan. That's why Garfield is so popular and successful, because it's so relatable. Exaggerated, but very relatable. So, KSS says Dave Chappelle did the Botox balls joke. I thought this was a channel dedicated to comics. Not that kind of comics, KSS. Comic books, not stand-up comedians. What am I, a comedian to you? I make you laugh? I don't think so. I'm a comic creator. Take me seriously. I want to be taken seriously. Respect. Oh, we have Matt Barr to chat. He says, "Yo, last man, hail Matt Barr."
Hello, Matt
Check
Barr.
out his channel. Freaking awesome. Was streamed. Was it yesterday or the day before? Oh, it was the day before, because I can't keep track of the days. My days are off right now. I totally forgot today was Thursday. Oh, shit.
It's the weather, last Matt.
Right now, just to give you an idea, right now it is 16 degrees where I'm at, but it was like 9 degrees earlier today. It actually got a little warmer in the evening, but not by much. 16 degrees is still freaking cold. So
it's freezing and dark here, and it's raining all the time. Not good weather.
Yes, freezing and dark is not a good combo, especially when you're in the ghetto. Anyway, I'm sorry. Bear says, I didn't say that. Bear says, you're more of a human character sketch, Elasmat, with wildly racist outbursts. I don't know what you mean by racist. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know. What does he get that, Helmut? What does Bear get that?
I don't know. I never thought about you of a racist guy. Because you are brown too. You are TEI higher.
I don't think I'm racist. Wait, Casey says, Garfield is relatable. I like lasagna and I don't like Mondays. I want to shoot the whole day down. See, there you go. So it's a great example of why Garfield is universally loved. It's the relatable aspects of the Mondays, how he hates Mondays. Who doesn't like Mondays? We all hate Mondays because it's the start of the work week.
And it's a nice reference to the Boomtown Rats. Nice song, by the way, KSS.
Mm-hmm. Nice song. Yes, good reference there. Colin says Helmut go hide in the World War II bunkers and use the old Nazi scientist machinery to start manipulating the weather.
I don't have a key.
Damn it! I could use the warmth right now. Natural warmth of the weather. You culturally appropriate Irish heritage. I love the Irish, Bear. I love the Irish. I'm an advocate for them. That's why I'm Irish, because I advocate for them and I am of them.
So you're an alcoholic and you like potatoes?
That's racist.
Hey, facts.
Are humans too? They don't. Not every one of them drinks alcohol and eats potato. Some of them might like a good hamburger, or there might be some that are vegans. You don't know that.
You can't be racist against white people, Les Matt.
I love all people.
Yeah, sure.
Not like that. There is no Alice Matt in the stream, K says. There's nobody by that name here. I don't know what stream you're watching, but there's nobody by that name on this stream. Did you lose your key? Says Tim Olson.
Yeah, the key to the bunker.
Colin is a fourth Irish. How many? So there's 3 more Irishes before you, Colin. We need to identify them and bring the band back together. Let's do it. Let's bring the band back together. Helmut, what do you say?
We could, yeah. I have nothing against it.
Okay, let's see. Let's discover more of Gahan. This is the GahanWilson.net site. So this is probably a site established by his estate. Oh, look at this. Gahan Wilson Tales of Horror. 24 spooky stories from the Master of Macabre. Oh, that's interesting. Let's take a look at it. Oh, this is on YouTube, so a commentary. Let's see. We lower the volume a little bit just so that we can talk this over. Story by Gahan Wilson. Okay, so this is written by Gahan Wilson. He was a film reviewer, so this is up his alley. Directed by Paul Winters.
Buy you a drink?
Wait, is this supposed to be a bio?
It's a free country.
I guess I should enlarge this.
Yeah.
I'll have a double scotch.
So, pretty soon, we're talking away like anything you could mention. And in spite of what we are talking about is not concerned with sex directly,
Entire western part of the state.
his hand keeps brushing my
Usually
knee.
the conventions in Chicago.
But I don't.
This is
turn
like a
away.
short story?
Only sort of
good.
shift over so as to let him know.
I don't know, this
I
is
am
a
not
short
stuck
story?
up,
Let's see.
But it was.
It's 13 minutes.
Pretty girl like you. I think you wouldn't bother with a roommate.
There's no bother at all with Phyllis. We've known each other ever since Daddy died.
Yeah, I think this is a short story that he wrote.
Sound like a real team.
So
She doesn't mind at all.
yeah, let me go back a little further. Yeah, so this is a short story that he wrote. Phyllis by Gahan Wilson. So that's the name of the story. It's Phyllis. So
The music
There we
and the
go.
style is very Twin Peaks esque.
this is his Playboy cartoons. Let's look at these. For those of you that read Playboy for the articles, this is right up your alley. Did you ever read Playboy for the articles, Helmut?
No, I'm a tits and ass guy.
At least you admit it. You're honest. I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, always.
Well, this is a good piece he did here. Oh, this one hits the feels. I think I want. Let me open up a new image in the new tab so we can enlarge it. But so you can see the desolation of war, the lone soldier, who might or may not be Muslim. I don't know. I think I won. Yeah, you know what's funny? I was at on Twitter, and there's an account called creepy.org or something like that, and they had a photo of a guy. I forgot his name, but it was a very famous story. He was disfigured in war, and he was set to get married to somebody, right? Let me see if I can find it, because this artwork kind of remind me of it. So I figured we talk about it since why not? Let me find it. It was showing up today, so I'm on the account right now. Let me just see if I can find it. Here we go. Okay. So this piece of artwork reminds me of this story. So here we go. So we're going to share this story. So from creepy.org. Marine Sergeant Tyler Ziegel, 24, and Renee Klein, 21, married in 2006 but divorced a year later. This photo was captured on their wedding day. Ziegel, severely injured in a suicide bombing in Iraq, lost his left hand, 3 fingers on his right, part of his skull, sight in one eye, and was left with a disfigured face. In 2012, Ziegler sadly died from an overdose of alcohol and morphine. So this gentleman went to war in Iraq, right, and came back disfigured. And his fiance married him regardless, although she divorced him a year later. But this is their photo right here. And this guy came back with, and it's a similar story with all veterans. They go to war, they fight for the government. They fight for the government. They don't fight for our freedom. It's the government they fight for. Right? And when they come back, they don't get their lives back. They don't get any kind of real rewards, any real care. They don't get the fullness of being able to integrate back into society. Instead, they're left to fend for themselves with minimal benefits. You know, the Veterans Affairs, if you guys know anything about the Veterans Affairs, it's a mess. I'm sure that a lot of organizations among the VA have some good people working for them, but their system is fucked. It really is. I can't begin to tell. I was in a meeting with VA, it was a virtual meeting, and they were talking about, you know, the plans for the program and how it helped veterans and so forth. The chat was full of angry veterans and veterans' wives and everything. So much so that they had to disable the chat. And I'm like, yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. And I look at something like this, and it's like, this is an example of how fucked being in the military is, when you have to go to war to fight for government interest, not for national safety or national security, but government interest. And then you come back all destroyed on the inside and out because you think you may have won the war. And then you realize, no, we didn't win anything. These soldiers didn't win anything. They were used as tools for government interests. It's kind of fucked. And I don't mean to get political, but one of the things I liked about Trump is he kept us out of war. In the 4 years he was president, he kept us out of war. And then once the other guy came and stole the election, we were already donating money to wars over the globe. We had billions of dollars of weapons that we left over in Afghanistan. That was that guy who left it there. The billions of taxpayer money that went to the Ukraine. The situation in Israel and Palestine, that's happening again. War just became a bigger thing in the last 4 years. And then, whether you like Trump or not, he kept us out of war in the 4 years. And I'm hoping for the same in the next 4 years to keep us out of war because, just the horror of war. It's horrific. And I know from some people who served in the military, and they can tell you that war is no joke. And in some cases, it's with very little reward, because you're not fighting for the country's safety. You're fighting for government interests, and it's fucked up. And I'm not making light of this. I'm not joking. I'm not making light of this poor Ziegel's plight. It's just you see something like this, like what Gahan Wilson did, and it just gets you in the gut because it's so true. It's you fight a war, and for what? For what? It's my phone call, and it was my fault. I'm sorry for not muting it. I'll do better next time. So, but where would you call your character Road Warrior then? Well, it's a fictional story. I mean, war is a reality, and war does make for good stories. It's just, there's a difference between enjoying fiction and understanding that reality is reality. We enjoy a good horror film, but God forbid anything that's horror becomes realistic. That was my one little commentary, I guess, based on this piece of artwork, which again, it's just so like, this is why I open to all styles of artwork, because you can get something like this that just like tells you with one image, resonates the message so sublime and powerful.
Confess, Doug, you stole that whole monologue from the lyrics of "You're in the Army Now" from what's the band? Status Quo.
I'm sorry, I think we lost Helmet. Oh wait, oh no, he's back. There we go.
Oh, whoa, you're in the army, in the army now. You remember that song?
I do, yeah, I do. Gahan says Wiggle said the same thing. It was pointless after he served. Yeah, I had those conversations with him, and he told me about his service. And one thing that he told, and well, I won't speak for him, but I will say that some people, some veterans I've spoken to, have said that they hate it when you go to them and say thank you for your service. They hate that because they're like, what exactly did I serve? What exactly have I done to help the national security of our country? And they realized they were a pawn. They were just tools to help government interests.
I think that's a global problem because I have those friends too. I have a friend who was in the German paratroopers and he was stationed in Mali in Africa.
Mhm.
And after one trip, he quit, married his then girlfriend, and did a private job because it was so fucked up.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, we're going in places we don't need to be going to. It's just it's messed up.
Just
Okay, it says
leave them alone. Leave those shitholes alone. I don't
I agree.
understand why we have to secure lands who will never be in peace ever.
we could thank Roosevelt for that. Franklin Roosevelt, FDR. It's because of him that we have this mess today. But KSS says Alaska is more of a in the Navy, but I'm not reading that KSS. Totally ruined my model. Totally ruined everything. Here's two Eskimos. It looks like the end of civilization as they know it. Yes. Oh boy, yes. Okay. We saw this one with the Christmas thing. Here's Count Chocula. He likes Count Chocula. He's a big Count Chocula fan, it looks like. But Count Chocula is very, very good character. Here's Hugh Hefner on Gahan Wilson. He says, Gahan's work at Playboy was a breath of fresh air. His unique perspective and unparalleled creativity brought a new dimension to the magazine. He was a true artist in every sense of the word. They actually have artwork in Playboy?
Yeah, like Hustler.
Wow. Hustler? Isn't Hustler a lot less low rent than Playboy? Or rather, more low rent?
It's not really sophisticated, if you mean that.
So Einbrecht's about to start a war in the chat. He says, the cereal sucks, but the mascot is glorious. So he's not a Count Chocula cereal guy.
We don't have it in Germany, so I can't have.
That's because it has chemicals and stuff. You guys eat healthy. We eat chemicals.
Hey, I made Brian addicted to beefy.
Oh, don't bring up the beefy thing, please. I'm trying to get over it. I still haven't gotten over the Prime's feet. Beefies. Mazapana says, I always preferred Frankenberry to Count Chocula, but Count Chocula was definitely one of the favored by the masses. Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I prefer Frankenberry too, but Count Chocula was definitely more fun to it was more fun visually, I think. So yeah, I definitely would co-sign that. Eskimos, they're not Eskimos, they're ice Indians, or if you must, filthy snow savages. I'm gonna borrow that from now on. When I talk about those filthy Antarcticans, I'm gonna call them filthy snow savages.
I think the political correct term for Eskimos is Inuit.
Inuit?
Inuit, yes.
I don't know what that is.
That's something in their language. I don't know the meaning about that, but it's Inuit.
Wait, so we can't say Eskimos anymore?
No, we can't.
That I didn't get that memo.
Eskimo is a derogatory term in their language for meat eaters.
From what? What did you say? Meat ninjas?
Meat eaters.
Oh,
Meat
meat eater.
eaters.
I eat meat. Does that mean I'm an Eskimo? I eat meat.
Yeah, but you don't eat the meat that they eat. Or do you eat seals and other stuff?
You know, I don't care what people say. I call Native Americans Indians. I call the people in the Antarctic Eskimos, and I call you go racist because you're trying to tell me what to say and can't say. This is not. I'm sorry. I meant to say that I'm open. I'm cultured. I will learn. I'll relearn. I'll get brainwashed. Fine. I'll go. I'll go to the human resource classes again. I'll do it, but it's gonna take years because I've spent 45 years calling these people Eskimos. So it's gonna take a while, Helmut. Okay, it's gonna take a while, but I'll get it done.
Get your privileges in check, Elasmet.
I don't have privileges. I'm trying to get privileges. I don't have any. Collins, I never had any of those Halloween cereals. I've eaten Frankenberry and I've eaten Count Chocula, but Blueberry has been the elusive one. A lot of people finding Blueberry is like finding Bigfoot. It's like you should find it, you gotta take a picture of it. Collins, Captain Crunch is all you need are frosted mini weights. I was never a Captain Crunch guy. I was more of a Lucky Charms guy because I am Irish and Lucky Charms is an Irish cereal, so it's right there with the Irish. Inuit and Cree. Okay, so that's how you say it. It's Inuit and Cree. Inuit and Cree. So is it Cree or Cray? How's it pronounced?
Cree? Like the alien race from Marvel Comics?
Because apparently if I say it wrong, I'm going to be considered out of touch and closed-minded and all this other stuff. Like, I got to say words right now. Okay, it says, Playboy has standards. Hustler, the models represented the types of girls you could only get in your fantasy. Hustler was for those skanks that you could actually get in your local strip club. You know what? That's actually, Kay said that's accurate. That is actually accurate. That's why Hustler was like, okay, so it's going to sound weird, but Playboy had a certain elegance to it. If that makes sense. Hustler was just, these are skanks. These are the, it makes sense. It was more of the it was the dirtier of the two magazines, if that makes sense.
I liked Penthouse a lot because those girls showed everything.
Oh gosh! Well, apparently so did the Hustler. They showed everything in Hustler too. So
yeah, but they had good cartoon strips, by the way.
But, what Hustler? Penthouse?
Penthouse too, yes.
You know, Penthouse had a video division, right? And they actually were the ones that distributed the Urotsuki Doji, that anime.
Oh, Demons, yes, I know that.
Yeah, they distributed here in the U.S. That should tell you all you need to know. By the way, that anime is getting a Blu-ray release this year, finally.
Yeah, but the story makes absolutely no sense. It's a senseless anime.
It's funny because the story is why I like the anime. I didn't like all that sexual stuff in it, and I tend to edit it out when I get a copy. But the story to me was why I liked it, and the animation was pretty smooth too.
I thought it was totally weird, but not in a good weird way, like David Lynch stuff, in a bad weird way.
Yeah, it's really it's one of those animes that like it's very divisive, and understandably so. Right? It's because it's anime and because it has an art style. I tend to like gear towards liking it, but the sequels suck though. I don't vouch for the sequels, but the first Urotsuki Doji was for me anyway intriguing. Without all the X-rated stuff, which I always edit out when I get a copy. But screwing up. See, we're deviating a little bit here. We were talking about the Inuit. Inuit. Am I okay? Are the Inuit and Cree the same people, or are they like one is north, one is south? I honestly, I'm in the same boat. I've never heard people getting sensitive about the word Eskimo. I'm not joking. It's the first time I'm hearing this. I did not know that was in 2025 considered a derogatory term. So, to be honest, I'm guessing it's like tree, but with the K. I think I said it. Yeah, I think I said it accurately too. So.
Okay, I have an article about the name Eskimo, which says that the Canadian and the Groenlander Inuit reject that name because it's a foreign name they were given from foreigners.
KSS says Hustler showed more than Penthouse, from classy to least. Playboy was the classiest. Penthouse was a little dirtier. Hustler was the most graphic. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought, not that I've seen these magazines. It's just from the covers. The covers alone kind of give it away. To me, Hustler always came across as the most lowbrow of those three. I don't know why I'm having this conversation, but the chat's bringing it up. It came up because the artwork that we're looking at was displayed in Playboy, so I guess that's why we're having this conversation. But I promise you, I didn't instigate the conversation. I'm just going along with the chat, going along with the presentation, and we're having this conversation. So yeah. Colin says, "Get with the times, you old fart. Respect your elders, Colin." I'm probably maybe 5 years older, but still, respect your elders. Derogatory, filthy snow savages bit is. That's like the term midget. I still use the term midget. I use midget and dwarf still. I'm sorry, but midget wrestling still exists, and they still use the word midget. I'm sorry. I mean, I won't call someone short a midget. They don't like it, but well, maybe not. Anyway, Bill Burr had an old bit asking why that was offensive, and I agree. Little person sounds condescending. You know, it's funny you say that, guy in this room, because whenever there's an attempt to try to make something sound not divisive or politically correct, it sounds way more offensive than it really is. Like, for example, the term Latinx, aside from the fact that it's pathetic sounding, is insulting beyond belief. Because number one, it wasn't even created by the Hispanic people. It was created by some liberal whites who decided to force that upon other cultures because they want to push this whole DEI, politically correct thing universally. And it's like, Spanish people don't use that term Latinx. They don't use it. It's not part of the culture. They're forcing it on the culture. So, like, someone said to me, "Hey, you don't like the term Latinx?" And I'm like, "I'd rather you call me a spick than Latinx. I'll take spick before I take Latinx." So, you know what I mean?
Or just say Bohnenfresser. Like
yeah, oh yeah, that's my Twitter pronoun, Bohnenfresher. Yes.
Bean muncher.
Yes. Bear says you probably still have your Hustler mags with pages glued. I don't have that magazine, Bear. I don't collect those magazines. I actually have some class. I don't. Imer says People McNuggets. People McNuggets. Okay. Collins, I'll laugh at you're in your 40s, right? I'm more than half your age. I'm in 20s. You are old. Well, then get in line, son, because you're disrespecting your elders. God, I'll be 50 in a couple years. I'll be 47 this year, which means I'll be 3 years away from 50. That's insane.
I will get 40 this year.
I really am old.
We both are.
Yeah, but I wish I was 40 again. Okay, it says, I grew up with the Marines in the 90s. You can't help but being exposed to skin bag. Oh, look, I get it. Like that culture, I get it. Trust me, no shame. I get it. I understand totally. Guy in the room, so if request granted. What request? Wait, did someone make a request? Did I miss something?
No.
That's a very ominous threat there, guy in this room. I'm gonna keep an eye on you on that one. Lady Shadowband is affirming me by saying I'm not old. Well, I told Lady Shadowband, as long as we can roll together, I don't care how old I am. So you're only 46. I just turned 47. Shut up. I'm sorry, Cass says. I can't help it. I can't help it. Oh, I see. Well, if the only option is to call me Latinx, no, just call me a spick. I don't care. So I just gave him the S card. I gave guy in his room the S card. Colin says, no wonder Lasma took so long to make his new book. His bones are getting too creaky. Hey, that Bengay ain't gonna apply itself, man. Oh, wait, that's where that Bengay reference came from in the song. Holy crap, I totally missed that. I totally missed that. So yeah. She says, oh, daw. I sound weird saying that, but I read it. So I think Spig was for Puerto Ricans, though. I'm not Puerto Rican. God, I'm not Puerto Rican. Don't call me that. Respect me. Respect me. And his eyesight, Colin. What about my eyesight? I have good eyesight. I'm important. So the Inuits here, these are Inuits looking at missiles ready to explode their world. Okay, let's go back to his other stuff. Let's see. Limited edition prints. Oh, you can get a print of his stuff. The New York cartoons. Let's see. Classic Collection Volume 1. Classic Collection Volume 2. Can you actually see it? No, these are stuff for sale. So this side has his stuff for sale. You can get his New York cartoon collections. You can get the Playboy stuff. A collection of Gahan humorous and macabre strips. So this is stuff he did for advertising. Can we see this? Let's see. That looks like it's for People Magazine. An ad for People Magazine. Gahan Wilson in Hollywood. Oh, look. So Wilson's macabre storytelling was featured in an episode of Tales from the Crypt. I wonder if that's what we were watching up there. I wonder if that's where that was from. This right here? I don't know. I don't want to play it again. But which episode? I'm gonna look it up. Which episode of Tales from the Crypt was that? Let's see. Let me find it. Gahan Wilson, Tales from the Crypt. Here we go. I don't see it here. Oh wait, was Tales from the it was a live action because it wasn't the animated show, but I don't know which. Oh, let me check back his Wikipedia page. See if it mentions it there. Let me check his IMDb page. He should have an IMDb page if that's the case. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Let's see what episode of Tales from the Crypt he wrote. Oh, he also wrote an episode for Monsters, the TV series. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. So, it doesn't have a credit for Tales from the Crypt, just Monsters. Which episode did he write? He wrote the season 3, episode 17 episode for Leavings. Let me see if we can find that on YouTube. Well, this is okay. So let's this is the IMDb page for the episode of Leavings from Monsters, written by Gahan Wilson. Two beat cops tell their boss about the strange occurrences in the city they've recently witnessed, such as normal people being turned into surgically reassembled freaks. He offers them truth, but it comes with a price. This is a trailer for it right here, or I guess a clip from the episode. This is the one that was written by Gahan Wilson. So I don't want to put audio because I don't know if there's a copyright thing on it, so I'd rather not. It shouldn't be, but still, like, you never know. Even though I'm offering commentary, but this reminds me of Unit 731. There's a movie called Men Behind the Sun, which was a Hong Kong movie about the Japanese Unit 731 from World War II that used to do all kinds of horrific human experiments. So I'll get to the chat in a second. I'm sure you guys are asking or wondering. So, but Monsters was a good show. I definitely recommend it. By the producers of Tales from the Crypt. If you like Tales from the Crypt, you'll like Monsters because it's from the same crew. And by the way, I gotta rewatch Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Dark Side. I meant Tales from the Dark Side, not Tales from the Crypt. So the writers or the producers of Monsters, they did Tales from the Dark Side. And I had the DVD set of the entire series. I got to rewatch it because I was in the middle of watching it and then I stopped watching it, but I got to continue on because it was a fun show. Tales from the Dark Side. It's a horror, fantasy, supernatural themed show that didn't have an explanation for anything that happened. Things just happened and there was no explanation for it. So let's see. Fiona says having some tea and a cinnamon. Would love to have coffee, but I don't want to mess up my sleep cycle even more. Yeah, coffee doesn't mess up my sleep cycle. It doesn't have any effect on me sleep wise. It's just something I drink because it tastes good. But tea sounds good too, though. I should have some tea. Gahan says I'm 41, having panicked because I know that 10 years ago will go by super quick and I'll be 50. Oh, don't remind me. Don't remind me, please. Let's see. Does a laugh at me glasses, says Colin, and Lady Shadowband says, no, it took so long because I'm quite the distraction. She is. She's actually very distracting. Well, sometimes a man needs to draw his books, dang it. Sometimes, yeah. Let him draw his duck. Ugh, you made me read that, Colin. Stop it. Get back on topic. But yeah, Lady Shadowband is right. I got it done. I was long distance for most of it. Yeah, when I started Be a Citizen, I hadn't met Lady Shadowband yet. So, and then she came into my life in the middle of it, and she got to see me finish it. So that was kind of cool. Guys, says pretty much every CD chat is full of middle-aged men. Yeah, it's funny you said it because one of the failures of our quote-unquote movement, I say movement for sake of brevity, but it's not. But for sake of brevity, we'll call it a movement, is we're only appealing to the middle-aged men. We haven't gotten to the younger people, the people that can carry our stuff to the next generation, keep it filled with legacy for decades. Yeah, that's where we kind of messed up at. So, Monsters is on Tubi. Yeah, I know I can probably get it on YouTube also, but I'm a physical media guy, so I like to get it either on Blu-ray or DVD. Like, I'm glad I have the Twilight Zone on DVD. I have Tales from the Dark Side on DVD. I have one season of Tales from the Crypt on DVD. I want to get the whole series. Someday when I'm inspired, I'll get the Outer Limits on DVD or Blu-ray. I have the first 3 Ultraman series. I have Ultra Q, Ultraman, and Ultra 7 on Blu-ray, on the Steelbook Blu-rays. I had a lot of fun watching those. So, guy says, I don't look a day over 50. Well, thank you. I think I don't either. I think a lot of it is, for the most part, I keep myself, or try to keep myself active. I try to eat as best as I can. Haven't smoked a day, except for one time, I haven't smoked a day in my life. I don't drink. I'm an avid drinker. I don't abuse alcohol. So all that is a factor in why I don't look quite shabby for my age. So, yeah. Okay, it says if Monsters was made by the same crew who did Tales from the Dark Side, George Romero was involved. He was going to make Tales from the Dark Side the creep show of the series, but didn't have the trademark. Yeah, so that's a good trivia. Is people don't know this, but Tales from the Dark Side was supposed to be the creep show series. But yeah, he didn't get the trademark for it, so he called it Tales from the Dark Side. So it was meant to be like the Creep Show 3. If Creep Show was a series, it would have been Creep Show, definitely a Creep Show. So a little bit of trivia right there. So I'm glad you brought that up. See the things we talk about on these streams when I bring up these artists. From Gahan Wilson, we end up talking about these TV series like Tales from the Dark Side and Monsters, and it's like, you learn things. Fiona says, I just want to see us go to Mars before I'm 80. Yeah, but I hear they got like Martians up there and they eat people and they're like big balls with legs, and I don't know if I want to do that. So Lady Shadowband is so proud. Colin says, so still with middle-aged men, that means y'all need some fresh talent like me. You don't want to go into that space, Colin. I think you're good where you're at. I will direct people to you so that we can get a decent, healthy circle, But unfortunately, younger people are not treated with respect. I know because I've seen what they've said about Lon Coleman, and Lon Coleman, the creator of Phenomenova. He uploads these videos where he offers his take and insights on comics and the things he likes and the things he doesn't like, and a lot of people push back on him because he's a young person, and I'm like, well, first he's in his mid-20s. I said he was in his early 20s, but he corrected me. He's in his mid-20s. I don't know what age he said he was, but mid-20s is what he said he was. But they push back on him because he's young, quote unquote, and they don't think he has any insight to offer because he wasn't in the industry. And I'm going, being in the industry doesn't give you clout. It doesn't give you preferred perspective. If anything, it makes your perspective very closed-minded because you're in a bubble in that industry. Whereas those of us that are out of that industry and out in the real world, we're kind of in the trenches, so we kind of know what we like and don't like. You know, we kind of like yeah, exactly. See, guys, don't even mention Von Coleman, but yeah, we kind of I don't say we, but well, me in terms of those of us that are outside of the industry, we tend to have a broader perspective on things, and we're a little more realistic on things. So I don't dismiss someone like Vaughn's opinion on stuff because he's part of that generation that's going to keep your comics alive. So if you're not appealing to that generation, guess what? Your comics will die with you. And it's not going to have any legacy. So maybe don't disparage or dismiss the thoughts and opinions of the younger generation when it comes to comics because they're telling you what they like. And you might want to appeal to them because that's why manga is successful. Because manga appeals to that generation. Middle-aged men. You may want to pay attention if you have an IP you care about. This must be why most indie comics are based off the 80s and 90s. I try to base mine off the Silver Age. Yeah, there's more emphasis on the 90s, Colin. Like, they look at the Image comic stuff, and most of the indies today kind of ape the Image stuff. And I'm like, I'd rather go backward in time. Like, you know, not just Ninja Turtles, but like even going back to the Von Bodie stuff, going back to like the older comics, you know, the Golden Age. Like, I still love reading the Golden Age stuff. It's a lot of fun to be had in those comics. It's pure escapism and no politics, no, you know, geopolitical agendas in those stories. It's just fun to read. I know what you're going to tell me. Captain America has some of that. I'm like, okay, maybe it did, but it was, you could read it and still get away with like a fun story that was, you know, good guy versus bad guy. So, but anyway, the young have social media on their brains. Yes, I know, but they're still the ones that are keeping your legacy alive. So appealing to them is not a bad thing. It's actually good for your business. KSS says, so 50 today isn't 50 when you grew up. Cal Connor played Archie Bunker when he was in his 40s. Or for Brimley was in his early 50s in the 1980s. I look way younger than both. I've been told anyway. Oh, you know, yeah, absolutely. I absolutely, yeah. I definitely look younger than Cal O'Connor, and that guy looked pretty like he was in his 60s. But that's weird that he was 40 in his 40s when he was playing Archie Bunker. It's like I can't get my mind over that. That's weird. Not much room for books. That is a concern, Bear. That is a concern. I know what you mean when you say that they have social media on their mind, and that's why they don't read books. But then again, manga is still succeeding. So they're reading books. It's just about marketing. It's a marketing thing with that. People got to really, if you're a comic creator in the West, you really need to study manga and why it's doing so well. Because it's, in a way, it's true. Like what the Bear said, if you're a content or an entertainer in the West, your competition is social media. Your competition is X. Your competition is YouTube. Your competition is TikTok. Yes, TikTok has been unbanned for now. So TikTok is still active. But those are your competition if you're an entertainer. And if you're producing physical media, then the question is, how do you compete with that? Well, manga's doing it. And I know a lot of manga can be found online. You can get Kindle versions. You can get digital versions of manga. But they're still selling. Look, they have like shelves upon shelves of manga in Barnes & Noble. So they're still selling hard copies. So you got to find out why they're doing it and how you can adapt on your end. So you got to stop listening to some people on YouTube that are just telling you to dismiss manga. No, that's how you commit business and financial suicide. You need to understand and study how manga is operating so you can succeed on your end and get your books to a wider audience so that you don't get lost in time, but rather are part of time's legacy. Guy says, Rini and Narwhal. I'm sorry, Per Berg. Did you get the memo, guy? We're supposed to call him Per Berg now. We can't call him Narwhal anymore. Anyway, Rini and Narwhal are some of the younger, former CG people, and they're out. Vaughn was cast out ASAP, and he's the youngest. But if you notice, guy in his room, Rini's successful. You know, she had that booth at New York Comic Con sold her books overnight, and then had Critical Plus overnight her a new set of books. I'm like, that's boss. Like I give really props for that. Irene Strakowski, she doesn't need CG. She doesn't need comics gay. She's doing great by herself. She's got a name for herself. She's got a fan base. She's got books that people are giving good reviews about. She's fine. She is where she needs to be. And Narwhal, aka Per Berg, is going to find some fresh new success working with Mark Millar at Dark Horse. So, if anything, I mean, in a way, CG, for at least for Narwhal's sake, allow people to set eyes on his work. But he did the thing of not staying in CG, and that's going to be helpful for him. And same thing with Rini. They don't need to stay there. They just need to expand and keep your options open. And they did it. They did. And I'm sure Ron Coleman is seeing this too. I'm sure he understands what he needs to do if he wants to stay successful in the comic realm is expand. Don't stay stuck in this circle. CG is only going to be helpful for a select few. So study the lessons of not just of CG, but of manga and apply those to yourself as a creator and go and proceed from there. Master Panda says, most of the stuff in this corner of indie comics won't appeal to the youth. Expensive premium comics with chromium covers that only come out once every 3 years doesn't appeal to webtoon zoomers. Well, you kind of want to get them while they're young. So bringing a book out every 3 years or 4 years is not a good business model for that younger generation. It isn't. It's not. So yeah, it's really not. Colin says, follow Ron Coleman needs to keep the young indie writers connected to me too. Yeah, I mean that's how you build networks. So yeah, and I'm sure getting that audience, Ron's audience, and the people connected to him, more eyes on your Emerald Man book is going to be good for you, Colin. So yeah, absolutely. And so the darkness continues, says Fiona Wolf. I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart for a second because I just thought about B Citizen Road Warrior Drake, which is completed. And once I hear back from the other two proofreaders, and once it's everything that needs to be done on that book is done, I'm gonna send out the PDFs to the backers while I continue work on the Ash Can and then do the manga version. So I figured I'll just send the PDF out to the backers in the meantime. So if you ordered B Citizen Road Warrior Drake, you're gonna get the PDF hopefully by the end of this month, if not next month. You'll get that PDF sent to you while I work on the other two books and then get them out ready for printing. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And yes, I am I do hard copy and physical. I'm hard copy and digital, I mean. So you definitely want to have a digital option in this day and age. There was a topic. Oh yeah, Owen Wilson. I forgot too. So I thought it was Louis. Don't encourage him. See, we're having a good conversation, and you're encouraging it. Stop it. Don't do that. We're having a good conversation for once. Damn it. Anyway. So let's see here. Let's go down the chat for a little bit. I mean, we need young creatives, especially with AI coming into the scene. Yeah. So the thing with AI is AI should be used as a good marketing tool, but not as the art itself. But I'm just one guy saying that. So, what are your thoughts on the AI thing, Helmut?
AI is a lazy way to create something, and it doesn't appeal in the slightest to me. And also, it looks very unnatural. I can tell you from the start that something is AI.
I think it should be used either as a marketing tool or, at the very least, in some way to complement the main natural art, but not as the main art. And yeah, I nothing you said was wrong. So yeah, nothing you said was wrong. Colin Lamb says, I don't like the manga style, so it's working against me, and I don't draw that way, but I try my best to appeal to an audience of my peer group. So when I say the lessons of manga, Colin, I'm not talking about the art style. I'm talking about why it works, why it sells. The art style itself, it's a factor, but the lesson with the art style is that it's fun, it's somewhat universal and it's familiar to people. So there's that. But I don't think you should just. I don't think any creator should just draw manga. Please don't create your own style. I mean, I encourage it. Create your own style. Okay, it says if you start telling us to get get our prostates checked, and to check our blood sugar, I swear I'm unsubbing. Stop acting like you're ancient. If you ran for president, everyone would call you a young guy. That is true. That is true. Some people still call me young, so I will accept that. I do know I've been growing slowly in readers. Well, there you go. That's good to hear. That's encouraging to hear. It's encouraging to hear. For Emerald Band, okay, so that's all right then. That you don't do the manga style, Colin. Be a trendsetter, not a trend follower. A fair amount of more popular stuff, even on Royal Road or with manga, usually takes a year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Bear says, I really dig Rini's art style and enjoy her books. Fiendish is good stuff, and Perberg's books are well written. There is better talent outside of CG now, in my opinion. I think that's a very well-informed opinion, I think. I don't disagree with
Maybe it
that.
always was. I mean, you have to understand me. I see it from the point of view from the European indie comic scene. And if you compare that to Comicsgate is a real stinker.
That's a very interesting perspective. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad to hear that because when I've been doing these streams, I've been going not just American artists, but I'm looking at European artists and Asian artists also. So I'm always interested in their perspective. So give us more perspective on that. So let's say give us an example of a CG book and tell us from the European perspective why it wouldn't appeal to you.
What shall we talk about? Cyberfrog?
It's up to you. You could talk about it.
I think Cyberfrog is a very boring book. Well drawn, but it lost itself in the details. It's too detailed. And the story comes behind of it, and the story is kind of boring, and it always ends with a fucking cliffhanger. And it takes 3 years, 4 years to finish one book, and nobody has the patience here in Europe to wait that time.
Interesting perspective. I'm glad to hear that. That's
and
but
also,
it goes to what
to just add that at the end, and also nobody in Europe wants to spend 25 fucking bucks for a fucking floppy, because we get for 25 or 20 euros bound comics books from European artists who are way, 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 way better than EVS, who also worked for DC, like Enrico Marini, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's on my list.
Noir Burlesque is his book, noir gangster style drawn book, very good. I can recommend to everybody to read that. It's two bound books that he's selling, and he also did some Batman work for DC back in the day. And if I compare that to what Comicsgate is offering in the same price range, it's lousy. It's really lousy what they offer.
I will say that the price range, that is a problem, especially with the size of the books. And I like a book that's complete story from beginning to end.
Yes.
I will say that if I have to buy a book and the story just stops in the middle of its arc at that last page, and I gotta wait 3 or 4 years, I kind of don't care at some point, and that's a problem. But yeah, some of what you said is 100% on point about it needs to be fun, it needs to be entertaining. The art style has to kind of be fun and entertaining and escapism. You don't want it to be as you said boring, or you don't want it to be dreary. You want it to just be fun to look at.
Elasmit, I also talk to comic guys in Germany about CG.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, first, it's a total laughing stock for them,
Wow.
the whole
Right. Go
movement.
ahead.
And
Uh-huh.
second, they don't say, "Oh, those right wingers, those Nazis." No, no, not even the leftists with whom I talk about comics. They say, "Oh, those assholes."
It's funny. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, and this is like an epiphany that I had with myself, and it started happening for me after Stephanie passed away, and it was the idea of being kind and professional, and that transcends political ideology. So, like, how you said there's no right or left. It's just you're an asshole, like you said. Like, I should be able to, for me to be successful, I should be able to talk to somebody and not care if they have a different ideological perspective. Like, I may not agree with it, but if you're not an asshole, there's no reason for me to be an asshole. Like, if we're just talking and you're good with me, I'm gonna be good to you. Um, and as a comic creator, you shouldn't be going on the spectrum of, oh, we're gonna defeat this leftist propaganda. It's like, no, I'm just creating a story, just telling a story. Hopefully, it's fun. Not too on the nose, any propaganda or anything, but just a fun story. Hopefully, you like it. But if you don't like it, I don't need to be an asshole to you about it either. It's being kind and being professional, and a
Yeah,
lot of that is. Go ahead.
that's how European comic fans see the comic market. Produce something worthwhile, something interesting, and it doesn't matter if you're left, right. You use pronouns or vote for Trump. Nobody gives a fuck here in Germany, at least. Produce something that is good, that engages with the readers, and then you are set for success here. But don't
And that's
go
how
out
that's how
of
it should
your
have been. It
way
should have
with
been.
your political bullshit and then behave
Mhm.
like an asshole overall. And that's what many guys do who still declare themselves CG, behaving like assholes on the internet and then wondering that they get backlash. And
Right?
if you
Go ahead.
behave that way, nobody will buy your stuff. It can be the second coming of Bill Finger and Bob Kane. Nobody will buy it because you're an asshole.
That is so funny you said, because that's what we said about the comic creators at the start of CG who were talking that way about the fans, and it's like now they become the very thing that we were supposed to be rallying against.
Yeah, yeah. It's exactly that. It's funny that people now talking about the woke right. It was always there. Part of CG was
Yeah.
always that. It was gatekeeping from the right side.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That I think it became such a reaction to what the left was doing that we lost focus on the fact that at the end of the day, we should have been kind and professional people, period. Like, talking too much politics was not good for the brand, because we're selling a comic book, we're selling a story, we're not selling an ideology, we're not selling something that we think is going to quote unquote own the libs. Like, that's not how you build long-term success. And you look at some of these creators, like someone like Jim Davis with Garfield. Like, he didn't espouse any political ideology, and people loved Garfield universally. And it's like that right there should be a model for every creator. Every comic creator should follow that model somehow.
Yeah, I agree with that. One of my favorite comic book artists and writers is Alan Moore. And Alan Moore is an insufferable old fart communist. I don't agree with anything that he says political wise. But do I reject the stuff he did with Watchmen or The Long Halloween or Swamp Thing? No, because that stuff is good and I like it.
Yeah, those books have they get a lot of respect from people. I've been collecting his Swamp Thing books. I haven't read them yet because I have a lot of books to catch up on. I'm hoping that it's as good, if not better, than Len Wein's Swamp Thing. I love Len Wein's Swamp Thing, by the way. To me, it's like it's just a perfect beginning and end for the character. But yeah, Watchmen to me was kind of plotting for me. I know people love it, and it's got its spot in comic legend. I get it. For me, it was too plotting, but I am buying his Swamp Thing books, and then I'm going to get to reading it once I have like his works all collected. So That's on my reading list. I've been ignoring Massive Panda's chat. He says, we grew up with TNMT because TNMT came out, Ninja Turtles, came out consistently during our very few years of childhood. It's hard to grow up with something that comes out once every 4 years. Yeah, that's ouch. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at several popular brands like Turtles, like Masters of the Universe, and stuff like that, they flooded the market in the beginning with stuff to get the people engaged, and then they trickled down the production. You don't start with trickle down production with one book there, and 4 years later the second book. That's wrong.
It is, and so is this news that World War III doesn't exist. It does exist. I have the digital proof. It absolutely exists. How dare you? Gahan says German artists you showed on earlier streams were very cool and appealing. Yeah, like Eckhart Breitschuh. I loved his art style. And I am somehow going to figure out what I'm going to do about getting a copy of Luba Wolfschwanz.
Yeah, I sent you something in this spring. I promise.
Nice. Yes. I should send you something too, but not chemical. I won't send you any chemicals, I promise. So.
No, please. I'm over that. I tried it, I tasted it. It's not my thing.
I don't blame you.
In respect to the Americans, I love you guys, but your sweets are not my cup of tea.
Hold on, let me I'm behind the chat. Let's see here. I'm just gonna go forward here. Let's see. While American comics have slight politics, none of them have been as abrasive in your face as they are nowadays. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's kind of what started CG, was that the in your face politics by these comics. So yeah. So let's see. Scroll down more. Talking politics is bad from an outsider's perspective. It's only bad if you're selling a product. If you're selling a product, you shouldn't talk politics, because politics is in your brand and it's divisive. But there are people that talk politics because that's their brand. But as a creator, as an entertainer, you probably shouldn't talk politics. I agree. I totally agree. Fiano says, I totally reject Watchmen. Yeah, Fiana's not a fan of the dark brooding Snyder style storytelling. She's more of the upbeat good guy versus bad guy type of story.
And that's okay too, because everybody has a different taste. That's absolutely okay.
Yeah,
I respect it.
Bill Watterson was the GOAT, greatest of all time. Dude just drew Calvin and Hobbes and spent his entire life minding his own business. Just thinking about his career is a breath of fresh air. You know, Master I'm trying to find this quote. There's a quote by Todd McFarlane. I saw it in a video, and for the life of me, I didn't save it. But he basically said it in no lesser words. He said, creators need to stay in their lanes. And I agree. Creators need to stay in their lanes and stop worrying about the other creators' businesses or the other creators' books. Worry about your own and grow your fan base and grow your market. So I 100% agree with that. And if I ever find that clip, I'm going to play it nonstop, because Tom McFarlane is a multi-millionaire. So and I'm not saying I'm a fan of the guy's, comic work or whatever, but I respect his hustle and I respect what he's done. So if he advises creators to stay in their lane, I think it's probably good advice you should follow. So, not that you need Tom McFarlane to tell you that, but if he's telling you that, it's because, yeah, it's something that you as a creator need to do. And it's one thing I swear by. I don't need to talk about any other creator's work, whatever. I'd stick to my own. I mean, I will critique it as a fan if I buy something as a fan, but as far as like doing streams about critiquing other people's work, like my peers and all that stuff, probably not going to see me do that. The bad about the CG penthouse is they feel entitled to the people's money and don't care how long it takes to get their books out. Well, as soon as people stop buying their stuff, that's when the message will get sent. But as long as people still pay money for it, that's just going to be the model. So you take it or leave it at this point, Fiona Wolf says, that's the primary issue with American output. There's no variety to appeal to actual different audiences anymore. It's about keeping it as universal as possible. And this is much different audiences. It's like with Gahan Wilson, and I mentioned Jim Davis earlier. the sense to be as universal as possible to appeal to a broader base. And you can get people from various perspectives or various walks of life or various tribes, if you will, to read your stuff and appreciate your work. That's kind of what I want to do with Road Warrior Drake. I want to try to keep it as broad as possible so I can get a lot of eyes on it and when somebody reads, say, for example, when they read Be Citizen Road Warrior, I'm not even promoting the book. I should show it on stream. Let me put it here. So when somebody's reading Be Citizen Road Warrior Drake, for example, right? I want them to be able to read it and not feel a certain way, except entertained. I want them to be entertained when they're reading Be Citizen Road Warrior Drake. So here's the campaign for it right now. Well, the second chance campaign, I should say, so that if you see only the one backer, it's because it's a second chance. Most of my backers backed on the first chance campaign for my comic, as well as on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. I don't know why it's taking this long to load. It usually doesn't. Let me just hit enter again. Maybe it'll load faster now that I've so. But yeah, there's the cover drawn by Felsbog with colors by Lidl. These are some of the panels in the book. I think I uploaded some new panels here. What's with the freaking dial-up speed on this thing? This is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. I normally have faster speed, but I don't know what's going on today. But it could be the pictures themselves are because the pictures are high quality pictures, so it could be that it takes longer to. No, it shouldn't take this long though. Like it normally doesn't take this long. I can assure you, it normally does not take this long. But it is. It is taking this long. Yeah, it's never taken this long before. So, but yeah, so my hope is that when people read the book, the only feeling they should come across after reading it is, was it entertaining or was it not? If it was entertaining, that means I did my job. If it wasn't entertaining, it's one of two things: either they have a bug up their ass, or it wasn't entertaining. It could only be one of those two. So I have to make sure that I get the entertaining part down for as many people as possible. Fiona says other countries still make items to appeal to different audiences. Blue BDs, manga, Bollywood. That is why manga has a huge audience. It has something for everyone. Yeah, that's one of the secrets for manga success. It's universal. It's got all kinds of manga. There's wrestling manga. There's crime story mangas. Of course, the mecha mangas, horror mangas, erotic mangas, and the YA mangas. Yeah, all that is part of why manga is successful. You want to make Drake broader? He's already as wide as a truck with his shoulders. You guys still fit him on the page, Elias, man. That's not what I meant when I said broad, Colin. It's not what I meant. You know what I meant. These are some of the pages here for Be Citizen Road Warrior Drake. Here's a new panel that I uploaded. This is Drake stomping on the ground, causing it to split open. It's one of my favorite panels. That's the updated cover for the Pumpkin War Patch Ash Can. So I wanted to make it a little bit more stylistic, so that's the updated cover for it. If you back to Ash Can, this is what the cover is going to look like. I have to put it here, though, somewhere. I got to put it in there for mature audiences only. So that's more of a niche audience, the Pumpkin War Patch comic, but Road Warrior Drake would be more broader. So, and there's a link to the campaign for Be Citizen Road Warrior Drake, which is not completed, and now I'm just waiting on proofreader so I can begin any editing that I may have to. Let's see here. Hacked your router. Oh crap. That's why. That's why. Even more of a niche combos and manga have enough variety that they don't feel like throw a bone over here. KSS says Alava has the internet of the poor. Luis Guzman should have to put up with this crap. I'm not Luis Guzman, and I don't have the internet of the pores. I may have the back of the pores, but not the internet of the pores. Why is KSS allowed to type in my chat? I can count on one hand, comics-wise, of who I support on the U.S. side of the house. It's a shrinking circle, Fiona. It really is, and I can see why. I don't collect manga, but except for the few that I have for the review purposes of the streams, just looking at those mangas, you can see artistically they blow the Americans out the water because not because the line art is better. In some cases it is, but that's not overall why. It's because they're stylistic enough for it to be fun. People like fun. My favorite comic video is Stan Lee roasting Rob Liefeld and Tom McFarlane while drawing. Oh yeah, I'm sure that I'm sure. Chuck Dixon once said that one of the dumbest things the mainstream did was decide to stop doing war comics, horror, Western, romance, etc., and focus on superheroes. Yeah, he's not. I mean, I think horror comics has an untapped audience today because not many people are doing horror comics, but there's a rich history of horror comics and why they're successful. And we need more of that. And notice that it's Eric July who's putting out like the horror comics right now with the Blood Ruth. And it's like, wow, he's kind of doing that. Like, you may not like Eric July or the Ripperverse, but he's doing the variety stuff. He's putting out superhero stuff. He's putting out crime story stuff. Now he's doing the horror comics. In some ways, he's doing that. He's doing the variety. Whether you like it or not is entirely subjective, but he is doing that. He's doing the variety. And hopefully that means he's listening and that he'll make each particular comic in that genre very specific to that genre so that he attracts as many people as possible. And then other creators will say, hey, you know what? That model is working. Maybe I should do it. And maybe that's one way to really make the comic side of the U.S. healthy, is adapting what works, which is appealing to as many people as possible and doing these genres. Like, as KSS said, horror and war comics. Although Western comics, I don't think Western comics will do well today because Western is a dying genre unto itself. Like, there aren't that many Western movies being made anymore, hardly any Western series. I'm not saying that they won't do well, but the fact that they're not being made in abundance is enough to tell you that there's not much of a demand for it. Because back when Westerns were popular, you had men that grew up as kids playing cowboys and Indians as kids. So that was something that was universal to them. But today's kids and my generation, we didn't grow up playing cowboys and Indians. We played cops and robbers, played robots and monsters. And that's what became the biggest success and entertainment in our generation. So I don't think Western comics will do well. Unless you make that one comment that's like lightning in the bottle. But definitely horror comics will do well. I think romance comics can still do well. Maybe war comics, but unfortunately, I don't know if there's many writers that can break into that success and do war comics without any political lenses on it. So I don't know. But I'm not Chuck Dixon, so what do I know? I made Chuck Dixon laugh by telling him to ask Well Read to open the pod bay doors. By the way, Chuck Dixon, that movie that's coming out, what is it? Last Man Standing with no, not Last Man Standing. It's what's the name of that movie with Jason Statham? What was it? I totally forgot the name of that movie. What's that movie he's got coming out? I'm looking at it right now. I'm kind of slow for not remembering it. Something with man on it. Walking Man or
A Working Man.
Working Man. Yeah, Working Man. Yeah, it was. That's what it was. That's the movie that Chuck Dixon, the novel that Chuck Dixon wrote, and based on Levon Cade, which is a Chuck Dixon book, but I guess for copyright reasons or whatever the studio decided, they couldn't name the movie Levon Cade, so they called it Working Man. But that's a Chuck Dixon story that is made into a movie. Now, do you think? I probably know the answer, but some people have had this conversation. Would you consider that a CG creator? Do you think Chuck Dixon is a CG creator? First of all,
No.
do you consider him?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think some people feel that way too. I tend to think that because he had his name before CG, and he's kind of had a success outside of it. So, but there was a conversation about whether or not Working Man will be considered the first true CG movie, and I'm like, from what I understand, it was based on a novel, not a graphic novel. From what I
Yeah,
understand,
from 2014.
right? So that's not even a comic book movie. Even though Chuck Dixon writes comics, but that's not a comic book movie because the source material was a novel, not a comic book. But it'll still appeal to the comic book fans because Chuck Dixon is a comic book writer still at the end of the day. So I'm considering doing a horror superhero comics mix sometime. Definitely read the old EC comics and look up this. Okay, and Colin, look up this book called the what is it? The Web of Horror. Yeah, look up the Web of Horror. It's a collection of four comics. It was a miniseries that was released. When was it released? Like in the 80s, I think it was. I have it here. It was released by Fantagraphics, I think, put it out there. But yeah, it's four comics. Beautiful hardcover. I recommend. Excuse me. I recommend looking at it and looking at all the older horror comics for inspiration.
I can also recommend something for inspiration. Faust Love of the Damned.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you know what? Even if you want to go past the comic side, read up some of the old what is it? H.P. Lovecraft. Look up some old Lovecraft. Lovecraft and H.G. Wells. You'll get plenty of inspiration. Go ahead.
Certain stories from Robert E. Howard are also very horror inspired.
Robert E. Howard, yeah. Fiona says it's just that Riververse is Snyder Light in terms of more cynical than not. You know, I get it. I mean, I get it. Although I will say this, Alpha Core was not as Snyder as you would think. I get with ISOM, and Eric Jolly has to kind of fix that in ISOM 3, I think. But Alpha Core was Alpha Core reminded me of Fantastic Four in some ways. So I wouldn't say that particular book was cynical. Same thing with Yaira. I think Yaira was a bit more hopeful than it appears, but we'll see with part 2. I didn't get part 2 yet. I kind of want to, but then I don't, because now that I know he's releasing collections, now I want to wait. Because he's releasing collections. So I think I'll just wait till all the stories are out, and then I'll buy the collections. So I'll do that. My first books were Savage Sword of Conan. Love those books, great art and ongoing stories. Yeah, I think on another stream, I think it was the Well Read stream when I was reviewing Phenomenova, and all those on the forums was in the chat, and he brought up Savage Sword of Conan as how to visually tell a story. I forgot his exact words for it, but when you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, I see what he's talking about. I see exactly what he's talking about. And I have like the first 4 volumes of Savage Sword of Conan, so that's another thing I want to read and sit down and be able to read and just sip my coffee and just look at it and just read it and just appreciate the history behind it. So Colin says the next book is going to be more of a classical pulpy superhero comic book based off the 50s. I think we need more of that, more of the lighthearted, good guy, bad guy, 50s style storytelling. It's hopeful. People want hopeful in their stories. So, Fiona says most westerns fell off on the mid to late 80s. Oh, 60s, I should say. Yeah, the 60s. Yeah, absolutely. Our generation isn't fond of westerns. We're more into the science fiction, cop stories, even war stories are still pretty much bankable, but westerns are not. I don't know, but KSS has a different perspective. He says westerns aren't being made for a reason. It has nothing to do with success. When they do them, they tend to usually do well, but Hollywood tends to not like the messaging in most westerns. That's a good point. No, yeah, that's a good point, because westerns are generally, they're cut and dry. It's good guy, bad guy. Westerns are pretty masculine. I think that's what it is. They are masculine in nature. You can't really make a western that fits to modern tastes. It just won't work. So the only way to tell a western is to be very masculine. Go ahead.
And also, speaking of the Italian Western movies from the 60s and 70s, they also had a lot of Christian symbolism and Christianity in it. And I think that wouldn't fly in Hollywood today.
That's a good point, and it sucks, but yeah, it's a good point. And speaking of the Italian westerns, I actually enjoyed the Clint Eastwood Man with No Name westerns, and and I'm not a fan of westerns, but I definitely enjoyed those movies. Those movies actually, I actually have the Blu-ray set of those movies, not the Blu-ray, the DVD set of those movies, and I gotta revisit it one day and just watch it again because I remember watching it and saying, "Holy crap, I actually like this movie." I liked all three of those movies. They're actually very good movies, and you could watch them and not be a fan of westerns and still enjoy them. And I'm like, that's probably um, the genius of Sergio Leone is as a director. He can make a western very entertaining if you're not a western person.
And he also based all of his stories off of the Akira Kurosawa samurai
Yes,
movies.
yes, that's a good point too. Yes, yeah, yeah, that's a very good point. So,
And he was a master of pictures, and
yes.
it has his movies have wonderful colors, even though it plays in the West where nothing grows, and it's awesome what he did there.
So Fiona has a link on Amazon to the complete web of horror. But let me see if my camera works here. Oh look, I got the that's the USB OSB which I don't have on. So let me turn to the HP. Is it turning on? There we go. Okay. How's my bandwidth? Is it coming off good?
Not exactly.
Let me see. I gotta look at the tab for a second. Yeah, it's got that crappy yeah, my live camera is not cooperating. But I'm gonna keep it still so you guys can see. This is the hardcover Web of Horror. Okay. And it's got the complete collection because it was only like 3 or 4 issues that got released. The complete collection is in this book, so this is definitely a purchase you should make. I'm keeping it still because it'll help me with the crappy and I got standard resolution too, so that's why this sucks. So and honestly, I don't think I have this problem with well, at the end of the day, I do have to get a hardwire. So, but yeah, that is my copy of Web of Horror, and it is a good read. Not a good read; it's a good purchase. I had to sit down and read it and really enjoy it.
Yeah, but Bernie Wrightson stuff is usually pretty good. I have the illustrated Werewolf of Tarka Mills book with his illustrations, and he's a genius in the horror field.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Timon, how about sci-fi fantasy as a genre that people should try out more often? Sci-fi has a market, of course. Absolutely. Maybe people say horror. That also it kind of includes the sci-fi and fantasy genre as well. So those things tend to still do well. I don't know about medieval stuff though. What do you think? Do you think medieval stuff has a audience still?
In Europe, of course, because we have the ties, we have the historic ties to medieval stuff.
Okay, all right.
And it had its highs with Hal Foster's Prince Valiant, for example, which sold very good in Germany, still does to this day.
Yeah, that I regarding this, Fiona. Yeah, to me, collections. I save money doing it that way. Like I said, now that I know that Eric July is putting out collections, I'll just wait until those collections come out and then I'll buy those books. I'm not gonna buy them individually because why? I'll just get the collections and then that way I have the complete arcs. That's how I am. That's how I treat comics in general now. It's like that's why I haven't bought Transformers yet from Image because I know they're gonna come out with a collection soon of that. So I'm gonna wait until that comes out and then I'll buy it. Plus, I want to make sure the story ends on a good note and not like it steers away from what was making it good to something completely political. And I don't want that. So the film that hurt Westerns was a film called Heaven's Gate. Oh, I remember Heaven's Gate. Oh yes, I never remember Heaven's Gate. It was the most expensive film to date and flopped. Sci-fi like Close Encounters in Star Wars did gangbusters. Hollywood shifted its focus. Yeah. Heaven's Gate was considered one of the most notorious flops in film history. So yeah, I remember that. Colin says it's a supernatural horror detective story, really creepy. Wait, what is he referring to? What is what? Colin? Let's see. I don't know what he's referring to. Oh, okay. So JD Kirby says it's a horror comic that he's doing. Is that what he's doing with the wheel? A horror comic? And is it and JD, is it a one shot, or is it going to require multiple issues? That's the burning question, because I do like horror stories, and in comic form too, and good writing. So my eye's now on you, JD. My eye now is on you. Westerns can do well if you mix it with something else. Yeah, if you do a Western with horror, or Western, not so much sci-fi, but I think Western with horror can do pretty good.
Yeah, there was a good horror Western in the past. It was Bone Tomahawk with Kurt Russell.
Ah, okay, right. I should look into that.
I can recommend it. It's a very good movie.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Kurt Russell's a good actor, and he rarely does a bad movie. Rarely. So I'm gonna. So it's called Tomahawk. I'm gonna look into that.
Bone Tomahawk.
Bone.
Oh,
wait. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. I heard. Yes, I remember that. Wow, I totally forgot about that movie. You're right. Wow. Yeah. That looked good. That did look good.
Pretty crimey. Pretty crimey. Has a lot of splatter effects, but it's a good movie.
Oh, okay. Now you sold me. So I'll probably buy it on DVD or Blu-ray or DVD. So
yeah, I have it on Blu-ray. It's awesome.
Yeah, because I just bought this movie called The Substance with Demi Moore.
Yeah, that's a good movie too.
Yeah, I heard it was good, and I saw some scenes from it. Like, yeah, that's a movie that I'm probably gonna like. So I bought it, and I'm just trying to pick a day to watch it with Lady Shuttleman so we can see it together. So, yeah, I'm gonna probably do that with that Kurt Russell movie too. Fiona says if one doesn't like the Riververse, go after why you don't like the characters or setting rather than Eric July himself. Yeah, just look at the content and then, or just go to where you like the content. You know, again, stay as a creator, stay in your lane. Don't be. I already said what I said on that. So scroll down more. I'm behind in the chat, but that's good because that means we're having a good conversation. People are actually interesting now in the chat. KSS says I can go on a long discussion about westerns, the real West, and Hollywood. My buddy Jeff Morey worked on Tombstone back in 1993.
Nice, good movie.
Yeah. Tombstone. Did it win Best Picture that year? I don't remember if it did or did it.
The fun fact about that movie is that it went head to head with Kevin Costner's Wyatt Earp, and it was the same story basically.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. It's kind of like the Deep Impact. What was that other movie? That Michael Bay did with Bruce Willis, the comic movie.
Apocalypse? No. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I forgot the movie he did with Demi Moore and not Demi Moore, Bruce Willis and Liv Tyler.
Armageddon.
Armageddon, yes. So it's kind of like Armageddon and Deep Impact. Both were released at the same time. Both had the same theme with comets, and then you had Wyatt Earp and Tombstone both telling the same story. So like, wow, yeah.
And both movies are pretty good. They are very different in the style, and but they hold up.
The Dollars trilogy is fantastic.
Yeah, that's Leone. That's the man with no name.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It absolutely is fantastic. I say that as a guy who doesn't like westerns. Those are fantastic movies. I definitely believe that I gotta watch it again because I haven't seen it in years. But when I first watched what was the first one? Fistful of Dollars. I was like, oh wow, this shit is actually very good. They had me hooked into the story. It's like, wow, this is actually very good. And then A Few Dollars More was just as good. And then I was blown away by The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So much so that I bought the soundtrack because the music was just outstanding.
I'm a huge fan of A Few Dollars More. I love the story. I love Lee Van Cleef. It's one of my favorite actors ever.
Yes.
And even a German has a small role in it, namely Klaus Kinski, who played.
Yes, I forgot. Yes, I love Klaus Kinski. He's a weird actor, but I love him because he's so weird.
Kinski was pretty awesome in Italo-Western movies
Mhm.
and also the Jess Franco horror movies he starred in. Pretty good.
Yeah, I saw some of those as when I was in my teens, the Jess Franco stuff, like the Dracula movie that he did. I saw that. Um,
With the
I may have to
lesbian
watch
vampires or
which
which
one?
one? With the lesbian vampires or which one from Jess Franco?
I don't remember, but I think Klaus Kinski played Renfield in that one.
Oh yeah, with Christopher Lee. That was a good
Yes,
movie. That was a good
yes,
movie.
right.
Very
So
near the source material. Very near the books.
yes, that I remember saying, "Wow, this is not like the other movies." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, this is closer to the book." So yeah, absolutely. Um, Let me scroll down to the chat. Kansas says Westerns are usually focused on the concept of rugged individualism. Know who loved Westerns? Joseph Stalin. Know who wouldn't allow his people to see American Westerns? Joseph Stalin. Interesting.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
it's with Hitler and Disney. Adolf Hitler was a huge fan of the Disney movies, but they
Hmm.
weren't allowed in Nazi Germany.
Wow. Yellow Josie Wales is still my favorite of the Clint Eastwood Westerns.
Is this
Wait,
Pale Rider, the movie?
wait, Outlaw Josie. Was that Clint Eastwood? I thought that was
That was Clint Eastwood, yes.
okay. I don't know why I thought Tom Selleck for a second, but okay.
Tom
Because
Selleck
Selleck's over there.
was
What?
quickly the Australian. That was Tom
Okay,
Selleck.
okay. Right. Okay. See, that's how much of a fan of Westerns I am. I'm getting them all mixed up. So, JD Kirby says the stories I like is when you put an ordinary people and put them in a fantastic situation. You know what that reminds me of, JD Kirby? You ever see the Buck Rogers movie with Gil Gerard? The movie, not the series, but the movie that predated the series. It's just like that. He's an ordinary guy, although he's like a trained pilot. Um, but then he gets thrust into the future, and he's in a totally different time and space and everything. And it's like he's a man out of time, but watching how he adapts is fascinating. That's in the movie I have to rewatch again. So many movies I got to rewatch and then watch. And I'm telling you, like the last 2 years of drawing Beastless and Road Warrior Drake, and then the year and a half before that when I was taking care of my sick wife, and then even before that, like working those long hours. There's so many movies and books I have to catch up on. And I'm going to try to dedicate 2025 to reading and watching as much as I can. Because I need that inspiration. I need to reconnect with the things I liked and the things that I could like. So, no, my bandwidth is okay. It's just I did change internets, and my download speed there is pretty good. I don't have like issues with downloads or uploads. But like when it comes to streaming, that's where the issue is with the camera. So I gotta probably find a way to do a hardwire, if anything. So this is going on more because according to my Streamlabs, it says I'm behind by 53 chats. Let's see. The current Conan run is pretty good. So that's a recommendation from Bear. Current Conan run. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go down more. Okay, so JD Kirby says his story is going to be multiple issues. Okay, now next question, JD Kirby, is: are there any plans to do a collection? Just curious, because I like collections, but I'm just curious. To be fair, Lazbat, you are a living horror story. Bear, we were having a productive conversation up until now. You had to be the guy, right? You had to be that guy. You can't have a conversation of productivity and creativity without you being disparaging and divisive. Even my good friend Helmet's upset with you.
No, Bear always backs me up against Lord Raptor.
No, you're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to say that. Colin says, I'm hoping to have a small publishing company soon to maybe develop my historical comic ideas into a graphic novel. But that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting indeed. So let's just scroll down more. Scroll down. Yeah, I'm gonna look up Bone Tomahawk. I'm really gonna look that up. I like Lee Van Cleef in Master Ninja. In The Master, he was a ninja. Yes, I remember that movie was parodied in Mystery Science Theater. By the way, The Master. It was. Yeah, it was. I think it was like season 4 or 5. they parodied the Masters. It was a fun. I was like, oh wow, this is an American kung fu movie. Like, when did this happen? But that was because it was a TV series. So let's go on more. Yeah, this is how behind him. Now that I'm catching up on the Kevin Costner Wyatt Earp stuff. Kevin Costner's Wyatt Earp was based mainly on Frank Waters, the Earp brothers of Tombstone. We discovered Waters' biography was mostly a fraud 6 years later. Waters was an SJW. So what he's saying is that the Kevin Costner Wyatt Earp was the least accurate of the two. So that's what I'm understanding based on that. I'll do my best to catch up on backlog of books. Same, Fiona, same. I got to do that too. So, here we go. Okay, so Kansas offers more context. He says he was an anti-American and hated anyone. That's Frank Waters. He hated anyone that the culture viewed as a hero. So he wrote his book painting the Earps and Doc Holliday as villains. Ah, interesting. He was that guy. Okay. So, because most time indies have to fight for my attention from rereading old favorites I know that have proper uplifting tones and themes. So, Bear says, is it just me, or when he spurs like that, he does sound like a certain mustache man? What are you talking about? What mustache man? What if it gets mustaches? What?
I mean, you have a lot of in common with that guy. He was also a failed artist.
Oh, you talk about Charles Chaplin? Okay, well, I guess maybe I don't know.
Yeah, the German version of Charles Chaplin.
I wonder who that could be. Let's see. Scroll on more. Okay, so regarding the Wyatt Holiday / Tombstone comparison, he says both films take their historical liberties, but Tombstone is far more accurate, especially the wardrobe. Okay, I mean Tombstone definitely seen from Wait a minute. What you want to see? Wait, hold on a second. Wait. You want to see Well Read over me, student of God? Are you serious? We have a lively conversation here. We have a party here. We have diversity here. And you forsook all that to go to Well Read? Why? Because he's whatever?
He had Chuck Dixon on last minute.
Oh, well, fuck me then. Well, there you go. Never mind. Okay. Barry says, wrong mustache. There's no such thing as a wrong mustache. It's how you apply the mustache, Bear. You should know that. It is how you apply the mustache. Well, we're getting close to 11, and I haven't eaten, so I think I'm going to just call it a stream because I have to eat. And I've caught up on the chat, so everybody's good now. Yes, I know he told me Chuck Dixon came out, so fuck me, I get it. Chuck Dixon. Hey, yo, there you go. So I know.
Just one recommendation for our viewers and yourself. For an obscure book who was the spiritual predecessor of He-Man and Masters of the Universe.
Wait, which was?
I have a recommendation of a book that was the spiritual predecessor of He-Man and Masters of the Universe.
Okay, what's the book?
Do you know You're the Hunter from Argentina?
I know the movie You're. Yes.
Yeah, that's based on the comic book. And
yes.
Yor was a comic book from Argentina from the 60s. No, 70s,
right.
1974. And if you like He-Man and the early He-Man mini comics with the other storyline that didn't make it in the cartoon, you would also like You're the Hunter. And I recommend you to look into the books and also watch the movie because the movie is hilarious.
I remember the movie as a kid. I did enjoy the movie. It was. You're right. It does have that He-Man. At least the movie did. Now this right here is this the actual? Is this the comic you're talking about, or is this like a modern retelling?
I think they have now an ongoing modern series, but like I said, the comic is from 1974.
Okay, because it says your 50th anniversary, 74 to 2024. Okay, yeah, the classic comic that inspired the. Okay, so yeah, this is the reprint. Okay, the first of 4 fully packed 40-page volumes include introducing Yor's world, where he battles dinosaurs and rescues his mate from Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, you know, I may have to look into this.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
like a genre mix of prehistoric fantasy and science fiction,
Yeah.
like He-Man was in the beginnings,
Yeah.
you also like your.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that because I do like that blend of science fiction and uh sword and
Fan-
sorcery.
yeah.
JD says I'm better than Chuck Dixon.
Oh, whoa.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. He said it. I'm just pointing it out. He said that, not me. I don't have Chuck Dixon's body of work, so I will echo yes to Chuck Dixon. But KSS, however, is putting the link to my comic, Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake, which is not completed, and I'm just waiting to hear back from my proofreader so I can do any editing before I send the backers their PDFs while I do the other books and get them ready for printing as well. So that's the plan. I have not read a Dixon book that I didn't like. No, Dixon's the man. I mean, there's no ways about it. Dixon's run for Punisher Warzone was the best. Yeah, I have to get a collective volume of that. I do. So I need to do that. Okay, well, anyway, Bear says thanks for the stream. So on that note, I'm going to call it a night. You have any last words, Helmut?
Ich wünsche jedem eine gute Nacht, selbst Alasmat, meinem guten Freund. Und ich hoffe, nächste Woche seid ihr wieder dabei.
I don't know why I heard that. I feel like I had numbers tattooed on my arm.
No, it meant I wish everyone a good night, and I hope they will be there next week.
Oh, I hope so too. I absolutely hope so too. I wish that as well. And on that note, you know what time it is. It's time for everyone's favorite outro.
Yeah.